MIC is back on radio.
Oh my God.
If you don't like them, I'm sure your sister will.
Hey, baby, you want to go out?
It's the Cool Calm Collected.
360 Sports with Kufre Ekwe.
360 Sports.
Good morning and welcome to the first edition of the show this week. It's 360 Sports, sponsored by Betano, proud partners of Aston Villa. We have a good show lined.
Sports.
CCC on the MIC is back on radio.
Oh my God.
If you don't like them, I'm sure your sister will.
Hey, baby, you want to go out?
It's the Cool Calm Collected.
360 Sports with Kufre Ekwe.
360 Sports.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the first edition of the show this week. It's 360 Sports, sponsored by Betano, proud partners of Aston Villa. We have a good show lined up for you today. As always, sit back, relax and enjoy. My name is Kufre Ekwe, the CCC on the MIC. The message line is open for you to interact with us this morning on the show. Betano 360 Sports 0915 707 9506 0915 707 9506. Include your name and your location. Let's go on this Betano break. Stay tuned. We will be back.
If person ask you, say, what's in the game where they totally you pass, you go tell them, say, na Betano all the time. You go tell yourself, make you follow, join for the Ogun get betting options, fast cash out, missions where they engage you, and get welcome bonus with fit reach 200,000 naira. Betano, the game don't start. Make you the bet responsibly. Now, only for people who don't pass 18 years. Betano, na proud partner of Aston Villa.
Hey, Betano Nation. Betano Nation. You like slots? You like spinning? Then this one na correct awoof where you no fit miss at all. From Monday to Sunday, just deposit 1,000 naira or more and play any of our hot casino slot games like Betano Bonanza or Chance Machine 5. If luck no shine for your side, no wahala, no vex, no lily, because you go receive a 15% cashback refund up to 20,000 naira. You hear am? 20,000 naira every single Monday. That's right. Betano got your back. Win or lose. So go ahead and spin sharp, 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 sharp. Get the thrill, and if the reels no pay, your wallet no go cry. Visit betano.ng now to join the fun. Betano Casino Slots. Play, spin, and bounce back every week. Betano, the game starts now. 18 plus. Play responsibly.
360 Sports.
Let's do the Nigeria National League, the NNL. We've been told that the 2024-2025 Super 8 playoffs will take place in Asaba Delta State from July 5 to 12, 2025. The teams that qualified for the Super 8 from the Southern Conference are Warri Wolves, Osun United, Crown FC, and Kun Khalifa Football Club of Owerri, while Wiki Tourist, Yobe, Desert Stars, Doma FC, and Barao FC came through from the Northern Conference. The top two teams from the two conferences will be promoted to the Nigeria Premier Football League for the 2025-2026 season. And on to the Flying Eagles. They have been drawn alongside Ghana and Benin Republic in Group A of the WAFU Zone B Under 20 Boys Cup. In Group B, Cote d'Ivoire will do battle with Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, and Togo. The third edition of the tournament is scheduled to take place from July 10 to 23, 2025, and the event serves as a key platform for nurturing young talent in the West African sub-region. The Flying Eagles will use this competition as a preparatory tournament for the upcoming 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile later this year. And on to the Super Falcons, head coach Justin Madigu has invited a total of 24 players ahead of the 2024 African Women's Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco, recalling former Barcelona star Azizat Oshoala alongside captain Rashidat Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, defender Michel Alozie, and forward Rinshola Babajide. Oshoala will be returning to the national team for the first time since the Paris Olympics, where she started 2 of the team's 3 games as they crashed out of the group stage. She joins Rashidat Ajibade, Osanacho Hale, Chiamaka Nadozie, and Francisco Dega as the only players in the squad with WAFCON titles. Ashley Plumter has also returned to the national team, joining Dimeyi Oluwatosin, Michel Alozie, Ohale Osinachi, Sikiratu Isa, Oladipo Shukurat, and Miracle Usani in the defense. And the 9-time African champions, the Super Falcons, will take on the senior women's national team of Portugal in a friendly match in Lisbon today as part of the preparations for the 2024 WAFCON tournament in Morocco. The WAFCON tournament will be played from July 5 to 26 in the North African country. The Falcons contingent flew out of the federal capital Abuja to Casablanca, Morocco on Sunday morning and then traveled to Lisbon from there. Monday's encounter between the Super Falcons and their Portuguese counterpart will take place in Lisbon, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And let's do the Nigerian Players Watch segment on the show. Napoli have demanded 2 Liverpool players plus cash in exchange for Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen as the Premier League champions register their interest in the Nigerian forward. According to reports, Liverpool have offered Napoli Federico Chiesa and Darwin Núñez for Osimhen. Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis has informed Liverpool that they will only consider the bid if they had 20 million euros. And we also understand that Galatasaray has given Victor Osimhen an ultimatum to decide whether he's going to join them permanently or not. Over the weekend as well, we also got news that Chelsea are now officially looking in the direction of Victor Osimhen. Let's take you to Spain to tell you that La Liga outfit Sevilla are set to part ways with Nigerian forward Chidera Ejuke as part of his summer squad overall ahead of the 2025-2026 season. The 27-year-old winger made 25 appearances in the Spanish top flight, scoring 2 goals and registering only 1 assist. Staying in Spain, Nigerian striker Sadiq Umaru might have to find a new club this summer or warm the bench at Real Sociedad as Valencia have decided not to pursue the permanent signing of the lanky forward. The Nigerian striker spent the second half of last season on loan at Valencia, where he enjoyed a good run with 5 goals in 16 league games. Meanwhile, let's tell you that 2 Spanish La Liga clubs, Deportivo Alaves and Elche, have been linked with a summer transfer move for the Super Eagles striker Umaru Sadiq. Sadiq, who is under contract with Real Sociedad until 2028, prefers to remain in Europe despite some requests from Qatar. And to Belgium we go to tell you that Genk have said they hope to make more money from the transfer of Tolu Arokodare than they did for his fellow Nigerian striker Paul Onuachu. Genk sold Onuachu to Southampton 3 years ago for 18 million euros. They now hope Arokodare will bring in more cash to them when he eventually transfers. It is understood that the Belgian Pro League goal king could now go for at least 20 million euros. You're still listening to Betano 360 Sport on this station. Stay tuned, we need to go on another Betano break. When we come back, we will be doing other sports.
Make I ask you the last question. Among the options where I go give you, choose the one where they give better gaming experience where person no fit forget. A, to use your data they watch match early momo. B, they listen to your uncle where be your bongest sports guru. C, Betano. The correct answer now, Betano. Don't go tell yourself, if you join the that betting platform for inside Nigeria, where you get different betting options, fast cash out, missions where they engage you, plenty data features, and we go welcome you with bonus of 200,000 naira. Betano, the game don't start. Bet responsibly, only for people who don't pass 18 years. Betano now proud partner of Aston Villa.
Hey, my people, it don't land again. Almost see ginger. Betano don't show love again, oh. Hey, hey. Now the 15% cash back on slots promo now with the yarn about, oh. See, make a salmon at the Tory, my people. From Monday to Sunday, just deposit 1,000 naira, 1K, and play correct casino slot games like Betano Bonanza and Chance Machine 5. If luck not jam body with you, don't worry. No shaking at all, my people. Betano go refund you 15% of what you lose, up to 20,000 naira every Monday. Una dey hear me so? Wake up and collect your money. Even if you no win, your money no go just borrow leg begin waka o. It's sure for you. So what you dey wait for? Just play. You win or you no win, your money dey sure for you. What you dey wait for, my people? Oya rush go betano.ng, log in and begin spin all those reels and enjoy the action fiam. Now only Betano they run am like this, so slots where they pay and refund where they sweet. Betano, the game don't start. Now for people above 18 years of age, and make you play am with sense.
360 Sports.
Quickly to all the sport in athletics, world record holder Tobiloba Amusho on Friday produced a standout display at the 2025 Paris Diamond League, clocking the season's best time of 12.24 seconds to finish second in the women's 100 meters hurdles. The time marks her second fastest ever, behind only our world record of 12.12 seconds set in 2022. Amusho has already won one Diamond League meet in Rabat, Morocco. Still talking about athletics, Nigerian sprinter Favor Ash continued his preparations for the upcoming World Athletics Championships taking place in Tokyo, Japan in September with an impressive third-place finish in the men's 100 meters event at the 27th Arnold meeting in Dessau, Germany on Saturday, as he set another season's best time of 10.08 seconds to place third. And this one came as a shocker at the weekend, where Nigerian sprinter and 150 meters world record holder Favor Ofili reportedly switched allegiance from Nigeria to Turkey just 3 months before the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. According to reports, the 22-year-old Ophelia has advised the Athletics Integrity Unit of her frustration with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Same report added that Ophelia cited missing the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and the failure of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria and the Nigeria Olympic Committee to register her for the 100 meters event at the last games in Paris. The 22-year-old is one of the Nigerian athletes who have qualified for the World Championships, which will be held from September 13 to 21 in Tokyo. We understand that the Turkish athletics body has been shopping for athletes, the athletes who change nationality and allegiance, like Francis Obikweli, who moved to Portugal, Gloria Aloze to Spain, Florence Ekpo Umor to Germany, Salwa Eid Nassar to Bahrain, Femi Uguode to Qatar, amongst several others, dumping the country for other nations and went on to excel in their careers internationally. Meanwhile, President of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Tonobo Kokoa, says the federation won't stop women's 100 meters world record holder Favor Ofili from switching her nationality to Turkey, despite being greeted by the shock in the media. Let's move on to basketball. Lastly on the show, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the new NBA champions after beating the Indiana Pacers early this morning 103-91 in Game 7, after both teams went neck to neck in the first 6 games of the best of 7 series in the NBA Finals 2025. Once again, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Meanwhile, two-time NBA champion Kevin Durant will join the Houston Rockets in a blockbuster move from the Phoenix Suns. We'll talk more about that subsequently on the show, as the 36-year-old forward will join the Rockets at the start of July in a deal involving 8 other players.
If person ask you, say, wetin be the game where they totori you pass, you go tell them, say na Betano all the time. No go dull yourself, oh. Make you follow join for the ogbonge betting options, fast cash out, missions where they engaging, and get welcome bonus wey fit reach 200,000 naira. Betano, the game don't start. Make you the bet responsibly. Now only for people wey don pass 18 years. Betano na proud partner of Aston Villa.
Hey, Betano Nation! Betano Nation! You like slots? You like spinning? Then this one na correct awoof where you no fit miss at all. From Monday to Sunday, just deposit 1,000 naira or more and play any of our hot casino slot games like Betano Bonanza or Chance Machine 5. If luck no shine for your side, no wahala, no vex, no lele, because you go receive a 15% cashback refund up to 20,000 naira. You hear am? 20,000 naira every single Monday. That's right, Betano got your back, win or lose. So go ahead and spin sharp. Get the thrill, and if the reels no pay, your wallet no go cry. Visit betano.ng now to join the fun. Betano Casino Slots. Play, spin, and and bounce back every week. Betano, the game starts now. 18 plus, play responsibly.
And that's our shift for today. Betano 360 Sport on this station. Thank you so much for tuning in. Super duper special thanks to our sponsors, Betano, proud partners of Aston Villa. My name is Kufre Ekwe, the CCC on the MIC. This has been a production of 82 Ideas Communications for Betano. Have a fantastic start to the new week. Waza.
City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM.
Time for us to take you through the stories from the newspapers. It's the newspaper review segment on today's Quest, Today 95.1 FM.
All right, a very good morning to you. Let's get into the papers for this morning. So we have a number of audio for you to listen to. We'll start off with that. Kelly's my name. That will take us a few minutes, give and take about 20 minutes. Most of the things you listen to form part of the stories for today. In fact, they're about 70% of the stories for today. So if you want to write, it's good for you. If you want to listen and record, that's also fine for you. So we'll get ahead with the papers, and then when we come back, we'll take you through the channels and a few other stories left for us to read to you, and then we'll get into our conversation. We'll make the most of the time that we have. It's Today's Quest, the newspaper review segment on Today 95.1 FM. I'm yours truly, Kelly Kimenjima. Stay right here.
It was the evening of June 12th. Antonia Okoye had planned a birthday bash to remember. Along with her friends, she reserved a VIP table at the Black Box nightclub in GRA for 200,000 naira. The group arrived, danced, and toasted to life, but their celebration was violently cut short. Tonya recounts how their evening took a turn when a man known as Mr. Maduba, popularly called Simo, allegedly tried to force himself and his friends into their reserved space. When they declined, the situation reportedly escalated into an unprovoked and brutal assault.
They were pushing me out, I should get out. Immediately, my best friend Jay was asking her, why are you pushing my friend? Then all of a sudden, all what I saw was he carried a bottle of our Balere drink and rushed her, pursued her, and busted it on her head. They were pushing her,
Amateur video from the Olu Obasanjo police station that night shows the group being addressed by the DPO. In the footage, Seymour is seen denying involvement, but one of the victims can be heard clearly identifying him as the attacker.
Something that was not done by me. I will accept the people that follow you. Who are they? Something that was not done by me. Then who are those people? Do I know them? No.
Legal representation for the victims says this is more than just assault. He argues it's part of a wider issue.
That was not the only thing. There were other things where you have men, guys, all seated having their own fun and all of that. Right? Even mixed, all of that. So this thing didn't happen there. Why? They didn't have this particular thing. Why? Because they're all group of girls. That's why this is gender-based. It's sad how most men think. Why you feel probably girls are the weaker vessel and you could easily just intimidate and harass them and all of that. It's really sad. This is what it is, gender-based. Because it couldn't happen if they were all men.
The Rivers Police Command spokesperson confirms that the suspect has been arraigned and the case is now in court.
The Commissioner of Police have passion for women, and that's why I don't want this matter to be swept under the carpet. And I want to talk under my capacity as a woman. Myself, I would not allow such matter to be swept under the carpet.
The owner of the nightclub has since distanced himself from the incident while condemning the act.
As a man, that's either you have a wife, sisters, nephews, females, it's not proper for you to lift an object onto a fellow woman or onto a lady in general, a woman. So it was not even sitting well with me at all.
The alleged assailant, Mr. Okechi Maduba, declined an on-camera interview. Beyond this nightclub incident in the city of Port Harcourt, this incident has once again sparked broader concerns about the safety of women in public spaces and how disputes too often escalate into violence.
I am part of any arrangement, no matter whatever nomenclature or name, to remove the current government of incompetency, of insecurity, of dividing the Nigerian family between North and South out of power. I'll go into any arrangement for that purpose. Luckily, we are all alive, we are all there, we are all, participants in that particular, sphere of political activity. So I was in the middle of it. Tinubu became relevant and noticeable after Abuja took over government. Before then, he was in the Senate, was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's announcement of June 12th. He was part of it. His own mother, Haja Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos market women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. I mean don't mean to embarrass him. But they say he was actively handing gloves to Babangida. Now, when Babangida saw the fact that, he was having a problem with the party, he went to the National Assembly to address them. One infamous speech was, they are trying to incite you. It's you they are against. Tinubu was there, and Ayu became very, very firm and straight on the issue of June 12. He called a meeting, then being the only senior elected person in government at that time, as a Senate President. He convened a meeting in Edo, in Benin, we went there with the governor, where we went there and reaffirmed our commitment to June 12. All right? Babangida was so angry with Ayu. He removed him and put in a better arrow. He put him there so that they can be aligned to political kind of machinations. So when Tinubu today, after being a general president, decided to rewrite history, try to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida support of June 12. He was part of it. Now, it was only when Abacha took over government that Tinubu then became our so-called activist of June 12. Not only all those who are talking about June 12 in the DECO, I mean no harm, I mean no disrespect. I'm simply saying what happened during that time. All of them, those who were in the DECO, where were they on June 11? They had no part in June 12. They are not part of June 12 campaign. They are not part of the June 12 activities. What they are never, because most of them are saying they should down look. All of them. Because they know they won't work out. So when Abiola won the election, and then after the annulment, they are all very, very passive. But suddenly, after Abacha came on board, removing Sonekam, they became activists. They formed NEDECO. NEDECO was opposed to Abacha, was opposed to election formation. NEDECO was something which was formed, to fight Abacha, not to fight democracy, not to fight June 12. So whatever Tinubu is doing today is simply reconstructing history the way he thinks is going to fit his own political interests. But then obviously, he was a major supporter of Babangida. Ask Babangida. Ask him. So when you talk about, already June 12, who are those characters? Ebutere? Somebody who replaced Ayu for June 12? Who are the others? All of them. So he ran away. We stayed behind. We fought Abacha. I was detained, because of my father, but I was detained. He was detained. So all of us, Adamu Churuma, Bola Ege, Yoche, Ayu, and many others, Bagaji, all of them were there. We fought Abacha. We fought him. Because we are willing to risk our lives. Tinubu ran away. He was not in the country. He only came back after the whole thing was, after the call was very, very clear. So what I'm saying is, all those advocates of June 12, they are more concerned with the bath water rather than the baby. They are more concerned because most of them were at the end of the meal. When the product was being processed, they simply picked up the product. The process which produced the product, they are not there. They're not part of it. They only pick the product. And today it's not about the victor, but it's about the victory, more than anything else. So we make this kind of distinction. The difference between the victory and the victor. The DECO were more concerned with the victory than the victor. As far as they're concerned, in the bathwater they are trying to use, they don't hang on to it, their own kind of riding on top to reinvent history in Nigeria. Otherwise, I feel embarrassed for the president, for the way he's talking. Honestly, ask anybody. Ask anybody. We're all there. Ask Ayu, ask Gergana. They're all there. Ask Rangiwa. So, what is happening today in Nigeria is simply something very, very laughable. People, who had no political pedigree, who had no political history, who are not as freedom fighters, are now at the forefront fighting for Nigerian democracy. It's so laughable.
In view of the fact that we're getting ready for a national convention, so it is on the basis of that happened. And at that meeting, by a motion moved by the governor of Oyo State, seconded by the minority leader in the Senate, Senator Abamoro, it was approved that the 100 meeting should take place. And then there was a further direction that INEC should be informed by way of courtesy. It must be clear that INEC has no role whatsoever in participating in regular meetings of these bodies that are brought to you. They have no role at all. And it must be clear to the whole world so that if there are issues that have come, I'll come presently to the issues that have been raised in the last one. And then you can see some of the distressing thing coming from INEC, which of course is very unfortunate. But we'll go into that. But I haven't established this background. The background is that these two meetings, as provided in the constitution for the bodies, INEC has no role. However, there's an exception. And those are the issues that the Supreme Court has said they are internal affairs of the party. To the extent that when we're holding NWC meeting, we don't tell INEC. When we're holding the regular NEC meetings, we don't tell INEC. Except as provided for in the Electoral Act. And the only time that you need to give a 21 days notice to INEC is as provided in the Electoral Act, as well as the guideline of INEC. INEC to have relationship with this because they manage, but they don't direct parties when it comes to their internal affairs. Because the courts have been so clear in plethora of cases, several cases, that the courts have no jurisdiction in the internal affairs of the party. One of such is convening regular meetings, which is NWC meeting, National Executive Committee meetings. So, but there are exceptions. And the exception is this: because we must make report to INEC if we have a convention that is elected, if we have congresses that is elected, if we have primaries where somebody will emerge as a candidate. Because we have to make report to INEC, we are duty bound under the law and the regulation of INEC to request and say we're giving you 21 days notice. The letter informing INEC must so state it. And so, in those situations, then you are bound by law to give INEC 21 days notice. Now, it takes me to what has been happening lately. Now, pursuant to the directive of the NEC at the 99 meeting, and in any event, just for clarity, this is the attendance register for members that attended the 99 meeting, where it was unanimously, it wasn't even two-thirds, it was unanimously agreed that the 100th meeting should take place. Duly proposed, the resolution moved and seconded and approved unanimously. Based on that directive, that INEC, that the chairman, acting national chairman of the party, should inform INEC. The party on the 30th of May, please take note of these timelines. On the 30th of May, the party wrote to INEC, and I'll read it for clarity. I know a lot of you have it, but again, for purpose of this conversation, I think for the emphasis, we need to draw attention to it so that the public will know, you will know, the party members will know, that this party has been doing everything in accordance with the law, in accordance with its constitution, in accordance with the practice and convention. And this is a letter received by INEC on 30th of May. That's it, the receipt of INEC. And I'll read it, I create your indulgence to read it. Notice of, hear this, notice of 100th National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party, party heading, signed by the acting national chairman. INEC replied to this letter. Reckon that the background I said before, that they have no business at those statutory meetings of the party, except for a meeting that is called for an election of officers, for issues that relates to mergers and arrangement with another party or future parties, and three, when you are providing or producing your candidates for elections. So three, it is when you must give 21 days. And the reason is this: because INEC will ultimately have to deal with the outcome of those meetings. They need to get a register of political parties officers in their records. So if there are convention that produces members of national working committees, they will be there to monitor and to observe the process, and so that when reports are being sent by the party, they will have a copy of it because they will have monitored, and they will have a duplicate copy like a back end situation. So whatever is coming from the field and communicated with them will align with what they do have on the field, have them monitored. Now, with a letter signed by the acting secretary of the commission. Now, because whoever signs a letter is an internal affair of the party, right? It is not for INEC to tell us who can sign. Because acting secretary signed there, we couldn't have said we won't recognize the letter because it was signed by acting secretary. If a court has said that anything has to do with the internal affairs of the party, the court is not justiciable like we say in law, and we have no jurisdiction about it. If the court will not have jurisdiction about what happened with the internal affairs of the party, I wonder why INEC will, because that is not the job of INEC. If we designate somebody to be the person to sign letter, so be it. And that's why it's an internal affair of the party. Now listen to this curious letter. I'll slowly read it so you can get the grasp of it. The letter was dated June 13th. We wrote our own May 30th. It took INEC 13 days. 13. To reply. That's the date. And curiously, you see, as you go through this, you begin to see the curious and begin to ask questions. What's going on here? Why the desperation to kill political parties? All in the need to go towards one party state, stifle opposition, which is just, like I've said earlier here, it's wishful thinking, it's hallucination. And APC should know that this is hallucinating. This country will not go into one party state, and nobody, no matter how powerful, whether you're president or you're a combination of president, will not work. It won't work. And it's clear. Now, the letter of INEC. It said, notice of 100 National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party. Your letter on the above subject matter refers. We won't teach INEC how to write letters. But you should have said, your letter dated so on this above refers. Right? They didn't. It was clever. You should have referred to the date of the letter when they received it. They didn't want to show that they took them 13 days to write the letter. To even begin to think to write. Now, 2, the commission draws your attention that the notice is not in compliance with the requirement of Part 2, subsection 12(3) of the regulations and guidelines for political parties, 22, that provides, quote, the national chairman and national secretary of the party shall jointly sign the notice of convention, congress, conference or meeting, and submit it to the commission, be guided. Please accept the assurances of the commission high regard. Let's leave back to what we said before. I'll read it to you so you can understand. This is a regulation about the so-called Part 2, subsection 212(3) of the regulation and guidelines of political parties. There you go. I'll read it. Part 212 says, every political party shall give the commission at least 21 days notice through a dedicated portal created for that purpose by the commission or of any convention Hear this. Any convention, congress, conference, or meeting convened for the purpose, hear this, for the purpose of merger and electing members of its National Executive Committee, other governing bodies, or nominating candidates for any of the elective offices specified in the Electoral Act 2022. A hard copy of the notice may be submitted to the Commission through a registered mail. Subsection 2. The notice indicate the purpose. Hear this again. The notice indicate the purpose, venue, date, time, and mode, whether virtual or in person, of the convention, congress, or meeting. We never mentioned here that we're giving you notice for that on behalf of the party. We didn't say to you we're conducting a meeting to elect officers. We didn't say we're going to do primaries to get nominated for an elected position. We didn't say we're meeting because we're considering possibility of mergers. So where does Halilu Aminu, where did he get that from? So he decided on his own to import a purpose for our meeting, to satisfy some vested interest from what we're getting from the grapevine, to ensure that they can continue to stifle the capacity of PDP to do its things in line with its constitution. And that is the whole thing about this. So you see, why can't INEC wait for us to give them notice of any of those issues? Right? Okay, we're giving you 21 days notice. For the records, there have been several times we have issued notices of 21 days notice for congresses or other meetings that requires those things to INEC. And we have had cause at some point to even shift those dates. To say, look, we're giving you 21 days. However, that date will not be conducive anymore. We're moving to a future date for certain things. And they've accepted. So how this acting secretary decide on his own to create and become a member of a political party and create for us an agenda that was not conveyed in the letter of the acting chairman to this? What we have done is to begin to wonder. And so the challenge for us now as a party is to say, who is the acting secretary of INEC? Who's he working for? What is the objective? Why is he creating an agenda for our party for a regular statutory meeting that is routine, just like the NWC meeting and the National Executive Committee meetings? So those are the questions that you call. And so when people come in and then I think social media, one of the newspapers that INEC has cancelled the NEC. I was just laughing. It was hilarious. INEC cannot. It is the party that can decide that for some reasons we're doing this. It's within our right to do. It is not for INEC to do. And so INEC cannot cancel. And I'm sure that must be a characterization because they never said that anyway. They never said that in their letter, and they know they could not have done that. They sent a letter on the 30th of May. INEC received this same day, 30th of May. INEC wrote his letter on the 13th of May. See the curious part of it. INEC did not bring the letter here until the 19th. But they released it to the social media 1 week ahead. I mean, this is the question you ask. The letter was dated 13th. It was received there on the 19th. But it's been on the social media like 3 days earlier. So it took them 1 week to move from their headquarters here. But he was able to go in 15 minutes to social media and then say all of this. We understand this game, and that's why I say, who's interested in it? How did they come out? That's why INEC management should investigate. Letter written on the 13th, received there on the 19th. This is it. So INEC, but it has been in social media for more than 36 hours before we actually even received it. Could we have been responding to something on social media in this age of AI and we can't. So when we got it, we said, okay, fine. And we try to do our own diligence search and report. Within the INEC, there are people there too who ask questions. That's what those questions asked that secretary. Halilu Aminu, ask the question. Nigerians are set for 2027. APC should know. And President Tinubu is a one-term president. With what's happening in this country today, those are recipes for one term. Because people are dying, people cannot feed, they can send their kids to school, they can't even buy their medication. People are dying by installment on a daily basis. And if you don't change that, that is what we call one-time president. If this party is not here for us to, if we're not being reclaimed in your words, I'm giving your word, we won't be here. That now answers it. All right? That now answers it. How much? I don't have that information right now as to how much. But the party, through the relevant department, are interfacing with the FCT, and that can't be a challenge to us. Payment is being effected. I don't know exactly as at this point, but if you want clarification, then I can get back to you on that. But as to whether the property is there, look close for that. You can see renovation going on here. That tells you some issues going on here.
So what you just saw with Ada or ADA or Ada, however, what you saw with it was the committee now writing a letter of intent to register the association as a political party. But here is the catch. By the provisions of the INEC regulations and guidelines for political parties 2022, when you make that application of intent, INEC has the luxury of 90 days to even reply to you, to tell you whether they would have accepted your name, your symbol, and your acronym. After the 90 days, then you have 30 days, assuming they say, we have accepted, and then you can go on. Then you go into their online registration platform, and you have 30 days to file in your constitution, your manifesto, your headquarters, with the land documents to show you own it or you are a tenant. Then the list of your executives, the members of your association, the register, and affidavit. And then when you file that in what we call Form 15A1, INEC has another 60 days of luxury to vet all those things before coming back to you to say, okay, we don't accept. Or we give you prima facie, you can tamper with this, and then I have 90 days from the time of your application. So you're talking about 7 months to register a new political party. Now, a new political party, you will now start building the new political party from the polling unit. We are talking about 1 year, 6 months to the general election. That option may be tedious, it may be clumsy, but we still have it as an option because there is a committee that is working towards it. And what I just told you then was paragraph 2 VIII of the regulations and the guidelines. We have another committee that is talking about some already established political party. What people fail to understand was that APC did not go for a new political party. It was a merger. So they didn't have to start building. So that's the polling unit. That is different arrangement. And under the law, so, different from a new political party when you want to merge. So, and then when you want to merge, it's parties already existing with structures. So when people are talking about a new political party, yes, it's an option we're considering. But because of the time constraint, that's not the only option. But I can guarantee you by the grace of God, in the next 2 weeks, it may be before then, a categorical statement will be issued and the world will know which one we have chosen because time is not on our side. But I can tell you, the engine rooms of this coalition, a lot of them you don't even know. APC will not know what hits them coming 2027. You know, when you are dealing with the ruling party and you're in your opposition party, you have to possess exceptional skills, exceptional attributes. You must have to be strong, but you should not be brutal. You should not be reckless, but you have to be courageous. You should not be priggish, but you have to be honest. You should not be proud, but you have to be confident. You should not be a braggart or self-conceited, but you have to be intelligent. You should not be sentimental, but you have to be very compassionate. And of course, you have to be charismatic. Now, all these attributes, if you don't have it, remember, you cannot outdo the ruling party in terms of resources. You have to inspire the people by these attributes so that even when you don't give them money, they will be able to be convinced. But here is the problem, why you should not have the other side of what I was saying. The ruling party, with all their braggadocio, they will use all those equipment they have, that whenever you show strength, they will want to tell the world you are brutal. Whenever you show courage, they want to tell the world you're reckless. So that they will put in you that fear that you should not exhibit those attributes. That's why I say in 2027, we are going to match them by showing strength and courage. And they will never intimidate us by trying to make the world to think that we are reckless and that we are brutal. Because when you are defending your own turf, as in when they want to rig election this time, we have to demonstrate strength and courage. I don't even know why people say that Tinubu fought for democracy. I don't understand. He was a backer of the Nadeco. Excuse me? From London? 24 hours electricity? Most of the pipe water flowing freely for you. You're enjoying yourself. Exile. And those ones in exile, they are exiled politicians. But he was also. How can you say he was also on the street with those who on the inside in Nadeco knows the role Bola Tinubu played? But you will not allow any personal discomfort on yourself. So you didn't think that when things became so, role was that when things became so tough in Nigeria, you ran away. He demonstrated how you ran away on television. Then he said he acted like an old man, and then crossed the border. And you're telling me he fought for democracy? How? People died here. Abraham Adesonia was put in jail. Bedbug everywhere in his body. He came out from the jail. He did not run away. And this is a politician that, during the regime of Abacha, he ran away. And you're saying he fought for democracy? How? Because the people that were dying, what did they then fight for? Those people that were put in Gulag. A man is enjoying himself, like I can always say, Wambe, moves in London. And he said he fought for who? I was in Nigeria. I was grown up. I knew the people that fought for me. I knew the people that died for democracy. Those ones I will respect. But they can't tell me that with your money as rich as you are, and that's what most of them will do if Nigeria collapses. That's why the people of Nigeria must hold up Nigeria, must not allow it to fall. Because once it falls, all these pretenders that they fight for democracy, they will run away. We need a man of conscience who is experienced, who might even be from the old cadre, but has made up his mind that he wants a new Nigeria. If you're expecting a younger person to come in the midst of these sharks, they will swallow him up. And I'm telling you, and Obama can come to Nigeria and will not win election. Not because people will not vote for him, but they will steal it from him. So what we have now in Nigeria is that we have a system that needs to be fought, that needs to be taken out. Can you trust the people we are seeing in that video? Assuming an Atiku comes into power, assuming, and takes us back to the Obasanjo years, he would have been a hero. He would have paid up all our debts. He would not acquire new debts. He would have made sure there's no security problem all around Nigeria. He was the vice president. I'm just using him as an example because he's the only person that has been in the presidency from 1999. Assuming he can even take us, because it is the terribleness of the successive government that keeps beatifying the predecessors. I never knew any government would be worse than Buhari's government. I must be very honest with you. Are you saying that the Tinubu government is the worst in the history of this country? I have said it clearly. Nobody is going to stop anybody from contesting for the presidential ticket in the coalition. Nobody. I listened to all the, just high-sounding talk that they gave to you in reaction to your questions. But one thing that I have not seen from these characters who are coming together in this coalition, they have not told Nigerians exactly what they would do differently from what this government is doing. You are a star journalist. Please tell me what they have told you in terms of policy prescription that they would champion that are different from what this president is doing. On what level, whatever. I can pause for you to actually tell me. There is not. They've said nothing other than simply attack the president and attack the APC. They have not told Nigerians what it is they are offering to Nigeria that is different. So, when I ask you what's your name, you tell me your name is not Felix Smoker. That is not your name. You tell me your name. So they must tell Nigerians what this government is doing that they would do differently and what results they would expect. So your party is not having a sleepless night over this coalition. Why would we have? Look at the faces there. Yes, I can't. There are familiar faces there. Very familiar faces of failed individuals who have left no legacy, who have had more than enough opportunity to govern. Every single one of them. Including Rotimi Amaechi. Who was speaker, who was governor, who was minister for, nearly a quarter of a century. You heard what he said he's going to send your president. Hey, listen, back to Lagos to retirement. Erufai is a Nigerian. He has, the right to free speech. He can say what he wants. And it's not everything that people say you take seriously. So he was talking to the air. He wasn't speaking to any, real issue. This president in 2 years has done what none of his predecessors had done in the same span of time to really reset Nigeria's economic foundations for growth and sustainable prosperity. No other president has done that in 2 years. You see, let me tell you, when his predecessors, all they did was simply take Band-Aid and put on an injury, never bothered to actually treat the root causes of those injuries. That's what they did. Kick the can down the road for the next president. This is the president who came along and said, listen, enough of these pretenses. I will not simply seek popularity over doing that which I swore to do, which is to tackle Nigeria's problems at its root. Tinubu is an effective president. And he's a president who has come in, recognizing the problems, and decided, I'm not going to pander to please anyone. I am going to simply solve the problem so that tomorrow will be better for Nigeria. And already, yes, as he said, when he announced those 2 policies, the first subsidy removal and floating of the Naira, he warned that it would be tough. Nobody said it was going to be easy, and it hasn't been easy. But there's also no country that has turned the corner. No country that some of us travel to. People who things are going to get better. Is that what you're saying? Things are getting better already. Now, when this thing happened, of course we saw a sharp spike in inflation and food inflation, especially affecting a lot of people. That is beginning to come down. Commodities and the prices are turning down. We're seeing macroeconomic indicators looking up. I think when you talk about macroeconomic indicators, you can have microeconomic good when your macroeconomic indicators are wrong. So usually macroeconomic indicators are pointers that things are looking up.
But today, I want to say that Governor Basio Otu is no longer an orphan. Governor Otu, thank you for being here to welcome your brother. And you welcome more brothers. Governor Sharif of Delta State, thank you for coming to join the progressive family and moving the South-South in a progressive direction. Governor Bueno, after you, who knows, Rivers State will tumble. After Rivers State, Bayelsa will join. And of course, we won the election after Governor Otu in Edo State. Senator Monde Ogbowolo is here in our midst. Governor of Edo State, congratulations once again for your victory. So what are we saying now? We are saying henceforth, come 2027, the South-South will go one way. And the South-South will vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay, so we're able to get all of those notes out of the way for you to listen. I'm just going to keep it close by, and then we'll mention some of the stories and recap, okay? But firstly, you listen to a Channels TV report on a brawl that happened at a nightclub, all right? A girl had got space to celebrate her birthday, and the guy intruded, broke bottle on the head of one of the girls, and the matter is now in court. Long story short, the matter is now in court. I've been hearing, whispers about it. You see one chat, that nightclub, that girl. I'm like, what actually happened? Frankly speaking, I own up. I was just too lazy to ask the question. What is this nightclub thing? What happened? So Channels TV has now exposed my laziness to the rest of the world, because I had to just lift that report. When I listened to the report on Channels TV, the entire thing, I'm like, oh, that's the nightclub thing. So for those of us who may not be aware, like me, just too lazy to find out, well, all thanks to Channels TV. And thank me too, partly, for bringing the reports your way. Yeah? Awesome job. So you listen to that report from Channels TV, and then we listen to Sulu Lamido accusing Tinubu of not, being a champion of democracy as he claims with the Nadeko and June 12 saga. He seemed to have caused a lot of storm. The most recent is Dele Alake, who was angry. Angry on TV. I watched that interview. For the sake of time, I can't bring excerpts of that interview your way. He was literally livid with Sule Lamido for some of the comments that you heard him make it in the clip you just listened to at the interview he had, I think, 2 days ago or so. So there you listen to Sule Lamido. And after that, the PDP spokesman reacting to INEC with the claims that their last NEC did not meet INEC guidelines. As only one person signed, they said, no, we sending a letter to INEC was just courtesy. We didn't need you for anything. There's no part of the regulations or laws that says you must be part of it. No, it was just courtesy. And then they mentioned that Tinubu is a one-term president. And Debo Logunagba, spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, speaking at a press conference sometime yesterday. And then Kenneth Okonkwo equally giving out of gospels all over the place. First, he talked about the ADA, the registration of the ADA. That process is ongoing. What they will do to the Tinubu administration. Tinubu will not know what hits them. And then he went from there. He talked about the viability of the candidates, that how it's open for everyone, whether it's north or south, everyone can contest. He also talked about the fact that a young person does not stand a chance against the people. I like to say the people, right? That you need someone with experience to get the job done. And I said, would it be Tinubu? Would it be Atiku? He just didn't answer if it would be Atiku, but he shall mention that, for instance, if Atiku could take us back to the Obasanjo age, I'm like, do we want to go back to the Obasanjo age? Anyway, Kenneth Okonkwo speaking there. And then APC spokesman Felix Morka responding to some of the things that Kenneth Okonkwo said during that interview, and also claiming that Tinubu is doing a lot, and Tinubu and his government really have nothing to fear when it comes to the coalition. And then last off, the official ceremony of Governor Moyeno defecting to the All Progressives Congress happened on Saturday, and Godswill Akpabio, in his usual gospel, says Rivers State is the next state to tumble. After Rivers State, it will be Bayelsa State, and then the South will deliver for Tinubu in 2027. Godswill Akpabio, President of Nigeria Senate, speaking there. Okay, so those are the items we're able to share with you this morning. I'll take you through some of the stories real quick, and then we'll get into our conversation this morning. Today is International Widows Day. International Widows Day, with the theme, Invisible Women, Invisible Problems. For many women around the world, the devastating loss of a partner is magnified by a long-term fight for their basic rights and dignity. Despite the fact that there are more than 258 million widows around the world, widows have historically been left unseen, unsupported, and unmeasured in our societies. Today, as armed conflicts, displacement, and migration, as well as health crisis, leave tens of thousands of women newly widowed and many others whose partners are missing or disappeared, the unique experiences and needs of widows must be brought to the forefront with their voices leading the way. Experience from the past shows that widows are often denied inheritance rights, they have their property grabbed after the death of a partner, and can face extreme stigma and discrimination as perceived carriers of disease. Worldwide, women are much less likely to have access to old age pensions than men, so the death of a spouse can lead to destitution for older women. Even widows may not have access to bank accounts to support themselves and their children. With one lone mother families and single older women already particularly vulnerable to poverty, this is an area that needs urgent attention. On International Widows Day, the 23rd of June, take a look at some of the issues affecting widows around the world and what must be done to safeguard and advance their rights. The United Nations observes the 23rd of June as International Widows Day since 2011 to draw attention to the voices and experiences of widows and to galvanize the unique support that they need. Daily Post. INEC has no right to control our meetings, interfere with our internal affairs. We'll listen to PDP spokesperson on this story, so I'm rolling it over. I told you about 70% of the stories from the prints. You've already listened to them, so let's roll this over to the next one real quick. Tinubu, part of people who supported IBB's annulment of June 12 election. Lamido saga that is causing, serious gossips everywhere. They're all rushing to reply, which tells me that these people, they care about their reputation. There's a level of care when certain things are said that either misrepresent what is true or tries to paint them as bad. It matters to them. So we may not jump into the validity of what Chairman Tony Anene wrote their names in the book of infamy by surrendering the people's mandate, National Republican Convention, to deny Abiola his mandate. In sharp contrast, Senator Bola Tinubu stood firm even before General Abacha dissolved the political parties and all democratic institutions, including the National Assembly, on November 17, 1993, following his coup. Days after dissolved all democratic institutions, Ame Ebute, Abu Ibrahim, and others were arrested and kept at Alagbon. The police
had me to pick it. Now then, I don't deal with this then. To buy your insurance plan, make you dial *1100# or sharp www.healthinsurancegroup.com. That is HEIROL. Or make you dial *1100# to get fast insurance today.
95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Don't get it mixed up. You get it mixed up. You are listening to Today 95.1 FM, your premium talk, news, and sports station in Port Harcourt. We are the voice of the people.
the voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Supports to $400 million foreign direct investment FDI plan to build Africa's largest rare earth and critical mineral plant in Nasarawa State, potentially creating over 10,000 jobs nationwide. The value addition campaign of President Bola Tinubu's administration and confirming that mineral processing was a strategy to take the jobless from the streets. For investor confidence in the mining sector, like I said, the establishment of the plant would promote skills transfer, potent tool to crush terrorism in the sub-region. Tinubu, who gave the charge during the 60s, and the alleged silence of the international community.
Seeing are all created by man. Okay. So, but the only thing is that they can be able to, in the shortest possible time, give you the answer you want. H to this number 09060 H to this number 09060 593552. Text PH to 52. Text PH to 090 60 593552. Text PH to 090 60 5935. So if you want to be part of this program, this life-changing program, all you need is to just text PH to this number 09. Well, flash the number because XMS now is very costly. So you can as well flash the number. We already understand the message.
So when you flash, you call them back?
No, if they flash, they've indicated interest. We now send them the necessary messages. They can chat us on WhatsApp or get the other information. Yes, now, SMS now is 6 naira. I mean, some people have not seen 6 naira. So please try to be there. At least, even if you don't learn anything, come and learn how you can benefit from the intended to 10 text if you don't have airtime. Flash it 090 to 10 text if you don't have airtime. Flash it 090 60 5935.
Kanu bomb, the situation in Kanu, and so as well as Plateau State, where he called on security agencies to step up their game. And then lastly, UTME 2025, JAM announces date for mop-up 9/29. Let's get into the issues. Dana Momo is here. He's a public affairs analyst in their explanation that there's no rift between Shettima and President Tinubu. Do you likely see Shettima not being on that? Do you likely see Shettima not being on that ticket, joint ticket? Mr. Momo?
No, there's no rift.
You don't think there's a rift?
No, there's no rift.
You don't think there's a rift?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think there's a rift? Huh?
But I think that those who did that were naive of how party run. You cannot. It's not supposed to
like
be.
Zulu. The thing I'm surprised of is even at the time, I know my memory is not failing me right now. It was never Buhari for second term. It was Buhari Oshibajo. That's all they kept saying. It was Buhari Oshibajo for second term.
Things. But jump the horse. You can't do that. There is only one candidate country now nominating and endorsing the vice president. How do you do that? Okay. It's wrong.
Mr. Momo doesn't see any issue there. Mr. Ndikwe?
Well, Kelly, there may be issue there because the politicians don't always tell the truth. That I will not agree. Who, if he's alternating that?
Okay.
You see, I think what I understand is that parties choose the candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And the candidate chooses his vice.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that happens, and that's when I followed the whole thing. Chief Obasanjo, when he was brought from the prison, and then he came to become, in fact, brought from prison to Aso Rock, or was it Dodan Barracks? I can't remember exactly where.
Aso Rock.
Good. So, Chief Obasanjo was the one that chose Atiku, who had won Adamawa election as the governor. He chose him. And when they had Chief Obasanjo went to him and said, Turaki, come back. So I think what they are saying after the convention, there will be need to pick. But what you also asking, Kelly, is very apt. Because in the second term, you will be hearing joint ticket of this person and that person. At least, I might not be part of them, but if no other thing, I am not blind and I'm not deaf. So, when it was for Buhari and Oshibajo, the party may not nominate. Is there any last night?
But this could suggest that there's a rift. It could suggest that there's a rift.
I said what happened in the Northeast, in Borno State. You can't tell me that Zulum will not understand what the party is doing. Zulum understands.
But thinks that
no, he may think that
Zulum is naive.
He's Daniel. I'm Emmanuel.
So you don't think Zulum is naive?
No, he's not. He's not. He cannot be. Zulum has been in the forefront of doing all that Nigerians have been praising. It can't be. The naivety can't set in now.
Okay. Do you see a situation where maybe after the convention, Shetima is not on the ticket?
It might happen. It depends if there's no.
Those that know.
I watched it.
I said almost got snubbed.
I watched it.
I said almost got snubbed.
How?
You didn't see how? You didn't see how Shetima hesitated to greet him. You did not notice it?
No.
You did not notice it?
No.
Okay.
That's why you people that watch everything.
Dr. Why going? In fact, there's even an edited one where they remove the. I'm like, what is this drama?
No, that's the governor of Imo State now.
Just go on and greet Ganduje. He had to stay with Akpabio. You would hug Akpabio. He will come back, shake his hand. I'm like, what's this? Are people having some kind of romantic relationship?
It's a constitutional matter that administration under Jonathan and Buhari, you have not seen it happen. To pick whoever he wants to be sent, to pick whoever he wants to be his vice. So in this case, don't be surprised that at the end of the convention, he may likely drop the vice. So to avoid that problem now, let us keep it at that time. So from Borno and the governor, for some time now, Borno and the governor, for some time now, for them to be upcoming, trying to oppose the president.
Ndume.
Yes, trying to, openly oppose the president. And these are people, the vice president, his supporters. For them to openly come and refuse to talk, maybe because he's a supporter of the vice president. That you can't take that away from the government.
Zulum is a loyalist to Shetima. Good. That in itself is enough for us to know exactly what he's playing at, even though he knows that Oga. But the issue is that Zulum, with his credentials, cannot play naivety to what the party will do. But I know that truly, if we are going for a rerun, that's re-election, it's a joint ticket.
Okay.
Like what happened in Imo State, for instance, you see that Hope had a right to drop his deputy.
Yes.
So
when I ashamed, like, so because the President Tinubu did State of the Nation address at the National Assembly, the governor wants to do State of the State address.
Because he's a loyalist of the president.
APC runs in their blood like the temple.
No, but what's wrong about that?
I said, me ashamed.
No, explain the shame.
Can't you? Why would you want to?
Can't you think uniquely? Can't you think uniquely? State of the Nation address, State of the State address.
Okay.
Psychophancy.
Okay. It doesn't make sense to me.
To you.
But
it's relative.
That's I didn't
and that's
put it on
he
anyone.
said himself.
I'm not thrusting it on anybody.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense to me. That's all.
I think that's the comment. It
doesn't make sense to me. What is State of the State address? My God.
Psychophancy.
Anyway. I didn't give it name. I just said it doesn't make sense to me. So let's
you raise it, you go back.
No, but really, it was an advert that I heard on Saturday. This weekend I had time to watch TV. I really watched TV this weekend. So when I saw the advert, Zodima also do State of the State address.
You don't watch TV?
I rarely watch TV.
No, when I come, I watch TV from 10 p.m. to almost like 2 a.m.
This weekend I watched TV. It was I woke up from
my
sleep.
Kind of TV you can't listen to it because I go from news to news. I hardly watch all this other.
It was so bad that we're watching Indian news channel. Let's move on. The viral video of purported viral video of the Ahoda East LGA administrator who was manhandled. Manhandled by, from the accounts, if I let me recall from Friday when I heard it, when Barrister Jamala first sent me the report that he had resigned. I'm like, resigned? That would be strange in these parts. By the way, NNPC spokesperson has also resigned. We heard that news on Saturday. Femi Sonaye resigned his position. I said, what is happening? Anyway. So when I heard it, and then we got updates from the news, he coming out to say, no, I did not resign. Some persons attacked me in my office and so on. Then came the voice of the chief security officer, I think one Ikakita, that was claiming that they did not go to beat him up. They only went there to ask him a few questions, blah, 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 that the reports are false. And then by Saturday, that whole thing went viral. If you said they were flogging the man, it was like a baby. Flogging him, beating him, telling him to sign the document. Sign the document.
Which people were flogging him?
I don't know which people. There were young people flogging him. Now, while that went viral, I kept asking myself...
Okay, you saw the video?
Yes, I saw it. I saw it to you. I saw the video. I'm like, what is this? Like, they were flogging him, beating him. Now, while that went on, and, there were feelers here and there that those people flogging and beating him are supposed to be his own people.
Chief of Staff.
That's one thing about the truth. It must overwhelm the lies. Whether it's Ebas that is owing the administrator and the administrator is owing the other people, why go on beating him? Because he's not paid you the money he's supposed to pay you.
I think the root is...
No, see, Kelly.
If what is on the surface is actually what it is,
yes.
What do you think the root is?
Can be deeper.
Deeper.
That's what I'm saying. So, see, Kelly, ordinarily, remember what we have in Nigerian politics. That is where the odds always surface and overwhelm. Gentleman agreement. I've not heard it from concrete areas that are developed countries. Gentleman agreement like this. You agree, okay, I'm going to do it. Any bithole is politics. Bithole is politics, maybe office of government or governance. Now up to be sharing money. How does it sound? With such a position, will be rounded up and then be beaten like a criminal.
Watched a video on social media. My worry first was what happened? They didn't provide security for the chairman. That was my concern. I was talking about it because it was not provided with...
Now we're asking the question.
Adequate security. But, the background you just painted shows that they will bounce on you, whether you are the one or not. Maybe the boys may be expecting, if actually that is what happens, maybe a lot of expectations. If it is not happening, it is not unnatural for human beings to resort to that act because they feel that their needs are not being met. And most time, maybe they are looking at the chairman as somebody responsible for that, whether he's actually responsible for it or not. So for human beings, that may be their last resort because our needs, our expectations are not being met. So when it happens, but then that to us is a problem. That tells you the nature of politics in Nigeria, including Rivers State. It's a matter of sharing it. It's a matter of sharing. If you can't share it, if you can't go around, you are wasting your time.
Mr. Momo.
Yes, I heard of the news on your
sister station.
No, I think was it you that read that news?
Okay, the police report.
Yes,
this morning. Yes.
Yes, this morning. And the first thing that came to my mind was, I expected that the police command would recall the police oddly attached to the local government administrator and hear his own side of the story, because his own side of the story is germane.
Okay.
What is sent therefore is to protect that man. And if there is a failure, he's the first person who questions will be asked. That's one. Two, what is the chain of communication and chain of command There's no state house of, I mean, there's no councillors that the administrator will report to. Does he report directly to IBAS?
Clearly.
If he report directly to IBAS, what is the state government saying as of today?
That's IBAS.
Yes, what are they saying? You can't just hear such and then you are quiet for several hours now. Nothing. You have not issued a statement as to clearly whether this man has resigned or not. The state needed to have said something.
No, he said he did not resign, that he was forced.
That's what he said.
He said he was forced.
No, but the thing that went viral was that he has resigned. And I expected that a vacuum should not be created.
He says he did not resign, he was forced. So maybe someone from his camp leaked that video.
No, what I'm saying is
that,
are you then saying that the state has nothing to say since then up till now?
What do you want them to say?
It's to clarify certain issues.
Like?
It doesn't matter if the man is saying from his hospital bed or anywhere or hiding place or something that he has not resigned. The state needed to put out a statement.
Okay.
There need to be a statement from the state regarding what is happening to condemn it and support the police in getting those persons. And if from the news also is that his chief security officer, chief of staff, then he shows...
And chief of staff and chief security officer.
It shows again the level of persons these persons surround themselves with.
Are you surprised?
Yes, I'm surprised. No, you see, I expected that, or maybe that's my expectation, that these are the same persons he sits on the table to decide the fate of the people of that local government. What would they have been contributing to the discussion on the table as to moving this local government forward?
So there's a flip side that we perhaps we're not looking at. You think the boys are the ones that make the decision, or the boys work for a superior authority that even the solad of our order may be a subject to? It's like, this is our line of command, right? If we want to get to our order, this is the person Yeson Wike touches with, or this is the person that Sim touches with. Yeah? That's the point man. We are all loyal to the point man. The point man makes a nomination to say, appoint this person as local government administrator. See, I did not say Wike.
No, I understand what you are saying.
Wike or Sim.
Yes, because they're using them as leaders.
That's their point man, right? So, these are my boys. We know that even when they conducted the election, the council election in Rivers State in October, right? Some people just stayed in their homes and said, make this person your chief of staff. Make this person your vice chairman. That's how it happened. It wasn't a case of an elected official going out to find out the best fits to get the job done. No, it was just the recommendation of a stakeholder. And the stakeholder said, that's my boy. Give him office. So in this case, it simply could also be that a point man has just told him, these are my boys. They are not your boys too. But the actual line of command will be to that point man. He takes the final order. So maybe the point man is not happy that the person he nominated is not doing well. And he says, why are you people coming to me? That's the person who appointed, and he's the one that is getting money. He's not remitting. So go and deal with him. Isn't it possible that when you talk about the police oddly, I'm saying to me, if the police oddly only goes around the thing, but he knows how that Solad interacts with these boys. When they are flogging him, you would assume that it's their local business.
No, he should not. He should understand security better.
He should understand security.
That the life of that man is in his own hands.
We say politics is local. Security is also local in this place.
But not
the security is also local. PRO told us in the studio, late PRO, God bless his soul. He says we know the people that are causing mayhem in these states, but we cannot tell you people. Why? Politicians will come after us. That as we arrest them, they are calling them to release them. Late Enabdomoni told me in studio.
And you see, it goes to what you just painted now. It goes to also show what I said here the other day. See, a wise man said, when you are taking a loan of success from the devil, check the interest rate. check the interest rate. Because, no, it's still strange to me as a person.
It is.
How you flog an adult? We're not talking of just an ordinary person.
That's why when people say it's deep, I'm just laughing.
No, it's deep. It's deep. I expected. You see, if we had gone into campaign, we had gone into electioneering, I would have said, he would have said, my allegiance is to this man worked in this particular council, this man worked for him, this. And so trying to bring everyone together. But we have somebody who was appointed. There were no other strings attached as to, the women in the group, these young boys did this and all of that. And so I felt that there will be a bit of freedom for such a person to have act and do other things for the local council. But if it's resulting to this, I fear. Look, let me say this.
Let's go for the news. When we go for the news, we'll return, pay some bills, we'll continue this conversation. Let's see if
then he'll say this.
Let us all understand ourselves. Maybe somehow we'll understand, or we'll just go ignorance. Anyone. We have to go for the news. Please stay with us.
It's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world. We've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
A very good morning to you. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Rona Agbara. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has announced the restoration of normal bulk electricity supply to the 6 states in northeast Nigeria. The power restoration comes after the completion of the connection of the new Bauchi transmission substation to the national grid through the Jos Bauchi-Gombe transmission line. According to a statement by the TCN spokesperson, Ndidi Mba, the connection of the new substation to the national grid has enhanced power reliability, diversified transmission routes, and improved emergency response capabilities in the northeastern region. A member of the new political coalition aiming to unseat President Bola Tinubu in 2027, Kenneth Okonkwo, says the presidential ticket of the political alignment will not be zoned to any region in particular. Okonkwo, who is the spokesperson for the Labour Party presidential candidate in 2023, Peter Obi, said aspirants from both the northern and southern regions would be allowed to contest. The lawyer who said this during a television program insisted that no one will be stopped from contesting for the ticket of the coalition. He reiterated his earlier position about not being in support of some leaders of the coalition, including Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, to emerge as the candidate of the new alignment. The Joint Security Services in Benue State has announced the arrest of suspects linked to recent attack in the Yelwata area of the state, where scores of people were killed. The State's Commissioner of Police, Imenari Ifeanyi, who announced the arrest, however, did not disclose the identity of the suspects. The development followed President Bola Tinubu's order that service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police arrest those behind the dastardly attack. The CP also said the arrest would not have been possible without Governor Hyacinth Alia's support. Emenari further disclosed that the deployment from IGP Kayode Betokun have all arrived and have been posted to rural communities to ensure effective policing. He urged landlords and hotel owners to profile their tenants and clients to avoid the presence of terror in the state. And on the foreign scene, Iran has threatened U.S. bases in the Middle East after massive airstrikes that Washington said had destroyed Tehran's nuclear program. International concern focused on fears that the unprecedented U.S. attacks would deepen conflicts in the volatile region after Israel launched a bombing campaign against Iran earlier this month. Ali Velayati, an advisor to the Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, said bases used by U.S. forces could be attacked in retaliation. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has urged Iran to end the conflict after he launched surprise bunker buster strikes on a key underground uranium enrichment site at Fordo, along with nuclear facilities in Isfahan and Natanz. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth had also said Iran's nuclear program was devastated, insisting the operation did not target Iranian troops or the Iranian people. And that was a news update on Today 95.1 FM. Many thanks for listening. I'm Rona Agbara. Good morning.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Please listen to this paid infomercial.
We're live in the studio, and today we have a special guest from Vantage Markets with a proven track record of helping people achieve sustainable financial success. In the past year alone, she has organized over 300 events and successfully trained over 2,000 clients on wealth creation through automated, flexible business opportunities. Please, let's welcome Omatosan, the Client Success Director at Vantage Markets.
Thank you so much for having me, Godwin. I'm excited to be here in Port Harcourt, even if it's just in the studio.
The pleasure is all ours. You know, we're just discussing the importance of creating sustainable income streams. Something I know is on the minds of many of our listeners. Can you share your insights, especially considering the role of technology in finance?
Absolutely. Port Harcourt is a city of innovation, and we need to apply that spirit to our finances. Let's be real. The Nigerian economy is challenging. For everyone listening, whether you're in the oil sector, a trader at Creek Road Market, or working in education, finding ways to boost your income is essential, as we can see the effects of inflation on a daily basis.
Exactly, Tosan. You know, the cost of living is a major concern. So what are some viable ways to earn extra income in today's tech-driven world?
I'll be very clear with you, Godwin. The answer lies in leveraging technology, particularly automation and AI. We live in a digital age where these tools are transforming industries, and finance is no exception. That is why I'm here, to introduce the concept of building a steady income through automated trading in the global financial market.
Automated trading, did you say? With AI? Many people have heard those terms before, but what do they really mean for the average person? Tell us.
It means opportunity, Godwin. Automation in trading uses computer programs to execute trades based on preset rules. Think of it like setting up a system to work for you even while you are busy with other things. AI algorithms can analyze vast amounts of market data to identify patterns and predict potential price movements with greater accuracy, something most people find difficult to do. This can significantly enhance the effectiveness of your results while trading. Imagine this. Instead of spending hours glued to your charts, you can use these technologies to potentially earn from the global financial market from anywhere. You could be minding your business and your automated system is working for you.
So it's like having a digital assistant for wealth creation?
Precisely. The global financial market, as I mentioned earlier, is where you can trade currencies, commodities like the oil we're so familiar with here, and stocks online. AI helps you navigate this complex market by identifying the trends and opportunities that a human being like you and me might miss. This levels the playing field.
That sounds powerfully, really. Now, can you give us a practical example of how AI could be used in trading?
Certainly I can do that. Let's say there's an unrest in a country, right? Like what's happening with Trump and the tariffs. I'm sure everybody has heard about that. AI algorithms can quickly analyze the potential impact on oil prices by processing news, social media sentiment, and historical data. The automated system can then execute trades to benefit you from anticipated price swings, all in a fraction of a second.
Incredible. It actually sounds like it could really free up people's time.
Absolutely, you can. That's the beauty of it. You can maintain your current income while simultaneously earning from the financial market with minimal direct involvement. It's about creating a flexible income stream that works just for you. Vantage Market provides the platform and the education to access these tools. We offer both options. You can trade for yourself, learning to use these AI-powered tools, or you can utilize the automated systems. And this is why you need to be at the Smart Traders Summit, happening this Thursday at number 21, Bekwe Wosu Street, formerly known as Igbo Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt. We start at 10 a.m. sharp. To register, send PH to 09060593552. Send PH to 09060593552. The number again is 09060593552.
What about the risk? People are often wary of anything involving technology and money, especially with the rise of other platforms that promised such.
That's a very valid concern, and that's why we preach risk management. It is very crucial. First, AI can actually help you manage risk by 1. Diversification. AI can help you analyze and suggest diversifying your investment across different assets to reduce risk. Stop loss orders. By using automated systems, AI can dynamically adjust your stop loss orders to ensure your capitals are being protected. The third one is back testing. AI allows you to test trading strategies on historical data to assess their potential risks and profitability before using them with your real money. And secondly, we're different from other platforms. We do not promise you a quick and easy path to wealth creation, as promising that is a lie. Nothing good comes easy. We can only help you make the path easier to understand and execute. We emphasize responsible trading and provide tools and knowledge to manage your risk effectively.
This is fascinating, I must say. So, how do people in Port Harcourt get started with this?
The best way is to attend our Smart Trader Summit this Thursday at number 21, Bekwe Wosu Street, formerly known as Igboku Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt. We start at 10 a.m. sharp. At the summit, we'll cover 1. How to leverage AI and automation in trading. 2. Your strategies for earning in foreign currency. And number 3. Essential risk management techniques to protect your investment. To register, send PH to 09060593552. Send PH to 09060593552. Let me repeat that and send PH to 09060593552.
There you heard it. Now, why should people choose Vantage Markets for this?
Vantage Markets is a global leader with 16 years of experience. Your official partners of Ferrari, you can Google that. And that goes to show the extent of our global brand partnership. We are not a small brand. We provide a reliable and regulated platform, essential in the world of online trading. Our technology is cutting edge, giving you access to fast execution and competitive pricing. We are also committed to education, empowering our clients to make informed decisions.
Now, is there a cost to attend the summit?
The summit itself is free. We want to make this knowledge accessible. Of course, trading involves capital, but the summit is about learning and understanding the potential first.
And what should attendees bring?
A smartphone with internet access or a laptop and a valid ID card. We'll have a live trading demonstration to show you how these technologies work in practice.
What are the benefits of attending the summit?
Beyond the knowledge and the potential for financial growth, we have some exclusive bonuses for the first 50 attendees in Port Harcourt. Number 1, a chance to win a landed property and a Mercedes-Benz in our elite promotion. Number 2, access the Algo Accelerator at zero cost. Number 3, you have access to the 10x trading program, a chance to significantly increase your income. And of course, you have access to our suite of AI-powered trading tools and indicators.
Those are fantastic incentives.
I agree.
Now, you want to remind our listeners how to register?
Of course. The Smart Trader Summit is on June 26th at number 21, Bekwe Wosu Street, formerly known as Igboku Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt. And it starts at 10 a.m. To register, send PH to 09060593552. Send PH to 09060593552. The number again is 09060593552.
Omatason, you know, many people are skeptical about online financial opportunities. How would you address their concerns, especially regarding automation and AI?
Skepticism is natural, but it's important to separate misinformation from reality. Here's what I'll say. Education is key. The summit is about understanding how these technologies work, not just blindly trusting them. Regulation and transparency. Vantage Markets is regulated, and we provide clear information about how our systems operate. Control. You always have control. Automated systems are tools. You set the parameters, you set the tone, and you can intervene at any time. Risk management, as I mentioned, AI can be a powerful tool for managing your risk. We address the common concerns like lack of time. Automation resolves this. Unrealistic expectation. We emphasize sustainable growth and security. We prioritize secure platforms and educate on best practices.
So the Smart Traders Summit this Thursday is the place to learn how to use these powerful tools responsibly. Any final thoughts?
Definitely. Port Harcourt is a city of go-getters. Do not let fear or misinformation hold you back from exploring new opportunities. Attend the summit. Ask questions and empower yourself with knowledge. Send PH to 09060593552. Send PH to 09060593552. 09060593552. 09060593552 to register and take control of your financial future.
And that was a paid infomercial.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Voice of the people.
And we're back.
All right, thank you all for staying with us. Let's continue our conversation. So, Mr. Momo, you're still trying to wrap your head around the situation.
But thank God you went on break, and that break afforded me the opportunity to watch that video. That is man inhumanity to man. That is barbaric. That should never, what happened should never be found around sane human beings. It's unfortunate that a solar can be treated to that kind of thing next to treating an animal. Whatever his sins might be, in that video you clearly see that those who did those things were hoodlums. They were not the normal refined guys who hang around the solar. So the question now will be, how did this kind of person, because clearly that was in his office, how did they gain entrance into his office, into the local government, and into his office? And it breaks my heart, sincerely. They were flogging him like, what on earth would he have done?
So when unanimously it was said here that there is more to this, I'm wondering what could be more to this. Do you expect anything more to happen?
More as in consequences to what has happened?
Yes. Now, do you expect anything more to happen? The police commissioner has passed a notice to them to show up for whatever. Do you expect that there'll be arrests to be made? There'll be a statement. Do you have all those expectations?
No, I think that should be the normal procedure. That's why I said I am surprised that the state has not released.
Is our situation normal?
Yes, our situations are normal.
Oh, okay.
Our situations are normal, but sometimes you find some Judas around some persons, but our situation as human beings is normal.
Nigerians?
While we're here, yes, I'm a Nigerian.
Okay.
No, while we're here, don't we reason like human beings? Don't we have conversations like human beings? Okay. No, we do. But I think that, yes, these are isolated cases. I have never seen this type before in River State. Flogging. I have never seen it before. So that's why I said it's normal. But, that's why the consequences will be severe on such persons.
Mr. Andiko, do you think anything else will happen?
Well, I think let me be emphatic about this. I think Ebas could probe, maybe through the police commissioner, could probe whatever lies underneath this. Because, like you asked whether it's normal, it's not normal. The situation is not normal, Kelly. Somebody that has the paraphernalia of overseeing the affairs of Hoda East, a local government, I'm sure there would have been at least a contingent or few individuals as police officers guarding him. How did they come into that?
As a local government secretariat has security.
That's what I mean. So how do they come in to have access to his office?
They said one of the alleged persons that did the flogging is a chief security officer.
Thank you very much, and that makes it more abnormal for the chief security officer to be lifting cane on his master, as it were. No matter what the behind the scene agreement they may have had.
Do you really believe that it's his master, or his master is someone else?
No, you see, there are varieties of masters and degrees of it. So it could be the first line master. Then there could be a master over two of them, like that. But what I'm saying is that, for if I am a master to anybody, for that person to lift a cane and start flogging me, am I truly his master?
Okay.
So for me, it's abnormal and they should be probed. But whatever be the case, for etiquette's sake, it should be probed, and then those people given the dose of discipline, reprimand they require. For goodness, how can you start flogging a government official like that?
Yeah.
Of course, remember what brought him is emergency rule, so it could be emergency.
Dr. Waigo, do you think anything will happen?
I expect the sole administrator to really set up an investigative team, and through the state police commissioner to investigate what's actually happened thoroughly. Because I've told you, in terms of human behavior, these things is I'm not surprised to see it, because I've just told you frustration aggression theory. That's where you can point. But the question is that when it is happening, remember you are in charge of River State. Within the 6 months, you are expected to act. So if this thing happens and nothing happens, people will act as usual. Maybe just praise the Lord that there are people who are supposed to settle. And maybe that's why these persons acted the way they act. And if you don't act, people will... In fact, people will ask what is happening. What we already say to ourselves that that's what happening is happening. So he has a responsibility to investigate what happened. And tell the public.
Okay, so let's wait now if there'll be any investigation whatsoever. So I think on Friday came breaking news that a new political party had submitted their interest to be registered, ADA. I'm trying to get that document because I'm seeing a counter statement just this morning from the Nation newspaper. I rarely go to the Nation newspaper, but today I'm going to the Nation newspaper. If it turns out that it's fake, we'll also come out to say that it's fake. But Kenneth Okonkwo was speaking on the ADA and how they will hate Tinubu like wishing no good. That what Tinubu will see will surprise him. It will surprise me that Tinubu will be surprised. But All Democratic Alliance, ADA, it is said that this is the next action of the coalition. I'm wondering how it's going to happen. Application for registration as a political party. We respectfully write to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, requesting the registration of our association, the All Democratic Alliance, ADA, as a political party. This is sequel to the decision taken by the Nigerian National Coalition Group to sponsor our association for full registration. The name of the party shall be the All Democratic Alliance, with ADA as our acronym and Justice for All as our slogan. The national secretariat of the party is as stated at the bottom of the association's letterhead used in this application. We have also herewith attached our logo describing its details, in details the symbolism of our party colors and their configuration and ideology, and our constitution providing the legal framework that defines our identity, so on and so forth. Yeah? So, this is the initial report, but I'm hearing this morning from the Nation that INEC is saying that no application has been received. That's what the Nation is reporting just this morning. Just give me a moment. Let me see if I can call up that report real quick. One moment. please. I had it in my site just now. Where are you? Okay. We have no party registration application before us, says INEC. No group has applied for registration as a political party, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has said. The electoral umpire insists that associations seeking to be registered as political parties must follow laid-down guidelines and abide by the legal and administrative requirements for registration. Admitting that over 100 associations are in the queue, the Commission said none of them has submitted a formal application to it yet. National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumeku, told the nation that what INEC has received so far are letters of intent and not formal application. This is what INEC is saying. According to Olumeku, the first stage is to submit a letter of intent. He said groups wishing to be registered as political parties must first meet the criteria for registration before submitting a formal application for registration. That's what INEC is saying. So when you look at this, let's look at the first part. The first part is they getting registered. If INEC is sounding this way, could it be that perhaps they have just done the first step, submitted a letter of intent for registration, and then the next steps will follow?
That's what I think as you were reading out that. Because if INEC is saying, if humans of these ages have come out and said we've submitted a certain document for INEC for registration, and INEC itself also peopled by those who are not kids, coming out to say that no, that the first step is that you have to submit letters of intent.
Let me read. An association intending to register as a political party shall submit its application to the Commission not later than 12 months before a general election in line with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. An association intending to be registered as a political party shall submit a letter of intent along with its proposed name, symbol, acronym to the Commission. So with this now, from the letter that we just read out...
Is it not what they said?
But the entire piece that the Nation wrote did say that INEC said they haven't received any application. But this clearly would mean that an inference is made that an application criteria has been met.
Yes.
An association intending to be registered as a political party shall submit a letter of intent along with its proposed name, symbol, and acronym to the Commission. The Commission shall, within 90 days of receipt of the letter of intent, convey in writing provisional approval of the availability and suitability or otherwise of the proposed name and symbol and acronym to the association. Is INEC being hasty in giving a response here?
I don't think so. See, there could be something that did not happen well. Perhaps this individual that made the submission of those documents think that everything they have is complete, and INEC is taking it that, well, these and that are missing, and as a result, it's just a letter of intent. That's the way I'm looking at it. It doesn't mean that because they said they are queues of people who are coming.
But about 100 persons on a queue.
Good. That means...
And no real application has been received.
That's what I'm saying. That the deficiency in what whoever may have submitted shows that it's not real application. That's the way I'm thinking. Because INEC people that are making this comment, they can see. No matter where you submit it. And I think there should be a place where you submit it and who to submit it to. And these people coming out to state that they've made such submission means that they must have done something they think or perhaps thought using the exam because they've submitted in the past. Now is the application. But they are now proven wrong by INEC to say, no, all that you have succeeded in doing is just submitting a letter of intent. That's the way I think, but both INEC and these people, they are playing politics, Nigerian brand.
Dr. Waigwe.
The level of politics I'm seeing from this, I'm even asking myself, is it usual? Because if you talk about the people who are submitting this letter, they don't just submit letter. They must have consulted their lawyers and know the procedures.
Good.
Expected to submit this. So if INEC members of staff are saying that it's a letter of intent, not application. But for me, I think the first step has been taken. Whether you call it letter of intent or letter of application, please accept it and then tell them if there's anything remaining. But for me, a political party of that nature will not just start application, just submit. They must have consulted their lawyers and know the procedures required. So if the first is what the INEC people are interpreting letter of intent, we can go by that. But after that,
Mr. Momo.
No, I think probably maybe it's you guys now who probe INEC to ask whether you have whether they have received an application. And I think that's my opinion anyway. Maybe in response to journalists who would have written or asked or called to ask if
confirmation.
Yes, and INEC is saying no, we have not received anything from these persons. A letter of intent is not it's not a full application. You know, a full application also comes with your offices where they are located in Nigeria, who are the board of directors and all of that. So I think that maybe as the day goes by, we'll get to understand if they have truly submitted or they're in the process of submitting a letter of intent. But I think it's early. It just came out on the news just broke, so it's still early. It's still early in time to have told the public this is what they are doing. But I hope that INEC could address it fully later.
Time is also a factor. I wouldn't know when the people that said that submitted, when they submitted, and when the person that is making this comment for INEC came out to do that. But time is of essence here. If, for instance, these people came, and then when INEC person was asked, and they have searched around when they heard it, and then the thing is not there, they will have to say they've not received. And if also, like I said, there's a deficiency, maybe 2 or 3 documents. Because remember, INEC said whoever is making the registration have to follow procedure. In other words, you have to submit everything in full. If there are ones you've not submitted, they've not received your application.
No, but I don't think they have gotten to that stage. If INEC is saying, for example...
But there's an acknowledgement here.
Yes, if that's what I want to say.
There's an acknowledgement.
If there's an acknowledgement...
June 20, received.
Yes.
INEC.
So that's the
INEC stamp.
So is it that magically the thing flew away or what?
So in fact, that's what I wanted to say. If they have submitted, there should be an acknowledgement.
There is an
acknowledgement here. There's a stamp.
There's a stamp.
2 days ago, I read in a Punch that INEC acknowledged this letter of application. So whatever they are calling it, letter of intent application, they will know.
No, as time goes on,
let's in the coming days. Maybe to fuss about this may be too soon. So let's just see a few days. But some of the things that Kenneth Okonkwo said in an interview yesterday, I think it was yesterday, about the modus operandi. He said no young person can survive these big men. The person will get swallowed up. You need someone who is experienced. You need someone with experience to withstand them, to give them the force, to shake them. He said that would foreclose any chance of a young person picking the ticket of this coalition party, yes?
Who is a young person?
No, like me.
No, hold on. No, let's
like
get clear.
Also.
Who is a young person?
Like me now.
It's clear. See, these things are interests.
Maybe not even Obi.
No, listen, these things are interests. No, remember now, he dissed Obi just a few weeks ago.
No, I just
said, incompetent.
I said maybe not even Obi.
No, see, these things are interests. Forget the fact that he represented this thing at their interest. Follow him carefully and analyze what he's saying. He's talking about Atiku. He's telling you clearly about Atiku. That's why he said he's projecting Atiku to head this new party formed by the coalition. That's the meaning. Look at let's take for example. Are you saying an Amaechi is a young man?
Amaechi is relatively young compared to compared
young
to Atiku
in
now.
age or in politics. Experience in politics. He's not a young man.
In age.
No, age is not the issue. This is the experience.
No, but
see, you can't see. We have had governors, people who became governor at 60. Yes, Amaechi, for example, might have become a governor at a young age. It doesn't mean that when it comes to Nigerian politics, Amaechi is a small boy. That's not true. The projection of this man that came to the studio yesterday to Channels Television is a projection of Atiku Abubakar. Follow his lines of thoughts. And now said, what if an Atiku, for example, take us back to Obasanjo? God forbid it. Take us back to he's projecting in that coalition to him as an individual.
Why did you say God forbid it?
Please, let's not even debate that issue. Let's not debate that issue.
Well, they're going back to Obasanjo age.
Yes, the crisis in Nigeria today started from that time.
Okay. Mr. Anekwe.
Yeah, Kelly. I didn't watch Okonkwo speak, and so maybe it will be practically difficult for me to say.
You played the listening.
And I didn't also listen to that. But what I'm saying is that there is no sense in the world that will say politically Amechi is young or age-wise that is young. No, he has passed that mark. He's as mature as Atiku will be in politics, I tell you. Yes, everybody that wants to rank Atiku, it's just a matter of choice. I want to be with Atiku.
Amechi defeated the vice president.
I want to be
in
with
the primary.
I want to be with Amechi.
You mean a calm-headed vice president?
No, don't use the word calm. We're talking about vice president.
Hold on. Who contested?
No, hold on.
Who contested the president for the very first time?
No. If you go there, we are trying to say that his feat in that primary was just no.
I won't compare. I won't compare Amechi's political journey to Oshibajo.
No, do you know why I said that? Because when he mentioned and you said Atiku became a vice president. Oshibajo was a vice president. So there was no. He's a vice president to a vice president.
Before Atiku became a vice president, Atiku has been in the political circle for a while.
Atiku, no political office.
No, but Atiku was elected governor of Adamawa State.
He didn't serve. Now he was not even sworn in.
No, but he was elected governor of Adamawa State.
But his picture is not there as a governor of Adamawa State.
We're talking about political experience.
Okay.
A man contested in his state to be governor, and he won.
Okay.
Let him go and serve. He was invited to come to a higher service, a higher calling as vice president.
Okay.
So he vacated that seat for someone else. That's experience.
No, this of
Oshibajo doesn't have that.
No, this of it. Atiku and Amechi, who has more political experience?
I would say Atiku.
How?
Because of his age.
How?
No, because of his political trajectory.
What trajectory? What are you saying? Amechi was a legislator. He understands the rudiments of that.
Yes.
He held the executive positions.
Yes.
He held appointment positions.
Yes.
He was a DG twice.
Yes.
So what are you saying? Atiku is more experienced than him? In what?
Okay. That's your position.
No, he worked now.
But that's your position now.
Yes.
In terms of national politics,
it
is also projected that.
In terms of national politics,
it is also projected that Atiku has more experience than Amechi.
Okay, hold on. Amechi became a DG, not a DG in Rivers State. We are talking of a DG of a national political party and returned a president twice. So, what national spread are you looking for?
How many times has Atiku been involved in a national election?
Nothing.
Win or lose?
He lost.
Win or lose? How many times?
He lost.
Win or lose?
All of the time he took it himself, he lost now.
Win or lose? How many times? How many times has he been involved?
It could be even 10 times or more.
But all of those things are political experience.
You see?
Oh, so the
he did not win it.
Amechi became second. Was not a political experience.
Mr. Momos,
no, I don't agree.
You don't have to agree.
No, I don't agree.
We're not having a conversation to agree.
That Atiku is more experienced than Amechi?
That's what some people say.
How?
You don't agree now, but leave it at that. You must not agree.
I think I should be allowed to finish.
That is if he will not interject again.
No, I won't.
You see, for me, Atiku is not more politically experienced than Amechi.
Okay.
Yes, that's my position. Because Amechi started at the state, went to also the center. I'm not sure there's anything Amechi wanted to learn or want to learn that he cannot thoroughly do. Okay. I'm not sure. The same thing with Atiku. And after all, in the running of state, Amechi went through that one, which Atiku has no credential for. Now, Atiku became vice president and then went through the national politics Amechi also joined that as a minister. Yes, so for me, they are at par in terms of experience. Now, individual understanding of issues will add to each person. And when Okonkwo is talking about a young person, like I'm saying, a line has been drawn. When a man has reached 50 and above, Kelly is qualified to do anything in terms of, even if you are raising age. Yes, a man of 50 years, what are you talking again? Is he an infant? No, now. Now, Amechi has passed 55 even.
Amechi is 60 now.
60 now, if he's 60, good. No, I just want to start from lower. If you are saying a man at 55 is still an infant, then maybe outside this world, not in this world we are living in. Now, Amechi is 60. Where is it? Who will call him an infant? Now you look at it, you direct it to politics. You say, okay, he's an infant in politics. How? With all the positions he's occupied in politics? So for me, I don't even understand. Usually when Okonkwo comes on television, I don't understand all that he says. There are certain things that will be very controversial when he said them to me.
Okay.
Like this particular point he's making now. Momo is able to, because maybe he listened to him, to narrow it down to maybe pontificating for Atiku.
He asks, who is he talking about?
I don't know.
He didn't mention them.
I don't know.
He didn't mention. He now said, okay, let's say an Atiku, for example.
That doesn't mean he was actually talking about Atiku.
It could eventually be that he's now doing that for Amechi.
Exactly.
I tell you.
No, he said something.
But you promised not to interject.
Okay, sorry.
So what I'm saying is that, for me, a man that has passed 55 is well enough, especially when he had pursued, since Amechi started. Was it not just, as we heard, what he did for the league? Is it
so you're also saying that Amechi will qualify for an experienced older person?
Of course, yes, of course.
Okay, Dr. Waiku.
Your question is?
No, Kenneth Okonkwo was saying that no young man can withstand these guys.
For me, that's one thing I don't like with the Nigerian politicians. And most times, they are not smart enough and wise to know when to talk. For him to start now, begin to tell us we need a person of experience.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever be his categorization of experience, that by age or whatever.
They are governors.
I think that is premature.
Don't allow them distract you.
That is very premature, and it's not the best. But for us to begin to interpret that his age or his experience is narrowing it to one person, is narrowing it to Atiku, I think it's an overgeneralization. That's not the best to do that.
Okay.
For Daniel Momo to tell us that there's narrowing it to Atiku, for me, I don't subscribe to that.
You don't think that's what he was trying to say?
Yes, because because if you go by that, you discover that more than 5 persons may be qualified for that.
Yes.
Amechi and the rest of them come under that category. So why is he saying that as early as this time? That's my own worry.
No, he said some things. Let me just say this. He said something, if you listen properly, that if you choose a southerner, that person will now come and spend another 8 years when this government has already spent 4 years. That the best thing would have been that they look for a qualified person who can rally Nigeria. For example,
this is Mr. Momo's reading of what.
No, but he said that. He's talking about South.
No, when he said that, it's like I'm seeing on TV now where they have a bold caption: Kashim Shettima snubs Ganduje, but that is not the case. There's an edited video and there's the full video. The edited video is 1minute 40 seconds. The full video is 2 minutes plus, where for some reason Shettima was just dancing skelewu around Ganduje, but just dancing, just hug the guy. It's like 2 people in a relationship quarreling. Most people go first greet each other. It's so childish. But eventually he reached out and they shook hands and they moved on. I'm surprised they're doing that. That's the same thing, because respectfully, sir, Kenneth Okonkwo actually said, I'm not an advocate of this thing. That's why I advocate. I'm not an advocate of 2-term. I advocate for a single term of 6 years. I feel we should change our system to 6 years so that when you come, you know that you have to focus on governance because you're not seeking re-election. You're done, you're out. But he actually said this in buttressing a point where he said, the ADA, if it comes to life, does not believe in North or South. Anybody from anywhere can contest the election. It is open for everybody. That's what he said now. That's the balance of what he said. He said it's open to everybody. So there's no case of North or South.
Older. You don't need a younger person. You don't, and I'm asking, who is a younger person? Is he age-wise? Or is he experienced in political life?
What we'll do is we'll look for Kenneth Okonkwo so that he can answer this question. We have tried.
You have his number.
Well, we have tried. We'll look for Kenneth so that he can answer this question so that we can move on. I want us to go international. I woke up on Sunday morning and Trump was having a press conference. He don't bomb Iran. Trump was so proud. What a spectacular success. So, you don't go bomb Iran. When you were saying peace, 3 days, I'll be 2 weeks. Like, mediators were actually mediating, telling Iran, hold on. You don't bomb Iran. But we're not going to dwell so much on that because the kind of videos I've seen of B-2 stealth bombers, I can't tire. I'm like, what's happening now? The jets, they've been there for a while. It's not every day we see them come out on combat, but they've been there for a while. Like, you do three posts on X. You see one stealth bomber, and that one you see one down that looks like Eagle Labs. I chat more to rest now. It's quite stressful. But oil prices have gone up.
Yes.
This Iran, and it starts with Israel and Iran. Prices have gone up. Iran has now threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz. I think it's Hormuz. They're threatening it because that's a major ship channel.
Yeah.
Crude oil channel. So if you block that passage, there's going to be crisis. I heard the Houthis are already threatening, don't come to our waters. We also know that America, they have destroyers there fighting the Houthis for a while.
Houthis are pirates now.
Well, the Houthis are in Yemen. They also have rockets. We heard that they're also fed by Iran.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's what the West tells us, that they're also fed by Iran.
Made us believe.
I said tells us. Whether you believe it is another thing. But they have rockets. Americans, they are bombing them. Fia from their ship. They are still rocketing them. They are bringing down one ship, two ship. The Houthis have also come out to say, don't come to our waters. There's no habitable space for you here. Prices have gone up. How does it affect us literally? It's a different matter. How does it come up? How does it affect us literally? One way, they're spotted in the application. Sorry, we're looking at something on the screen. It's spotted in the application where they said INC instead of INEC.
Good.
In acronym.
And they are never the same.
They are never the same, but there is Independent National Electoral Commission. Okay, there is Independent National Commission. So all of these are typos that can be corrected. Let's come back to this one. So we can open the phone line shortly. Long story short, oil prices are going up. I hear so this morning is 3% higher. Prices have changed at the pumps. But it's also good for our budget. Mm-hmm. There was a time we were saying that prices were dropping because of Trump. Trump again is the reason why prices are going up. The same Trump. We can now meet our budget benchmark, $75 to a barrel. But at the pumps, prices are going up. So we'll pay more money for buy petrol. And I saw a report where U.S. is now telling China to put pressure. U.S. is telling China, put pressure on Iran not to close the straits. Where do we see this crisis heading? Mr. Mom?
Iran can't close that place. It will be pretty difficult. It will also offend its own friends. Now, back home, I think it's good for us as a country that depend largely on our crude oil sales. For the states, for the local government, for businesses in Nigeria, it is good for us. Even though it is going to affect our pockets to do one or two services. But this has always been the tradition over the years. Crisis is the one that shoot up majorly crude oil. Mm-hmm. It's from the Iraqi crisis, from the Libyan crisis. oil usually shoot up. So, though it is temporarily, it is shock, but let's see how far it will stay that way. But to Nigeria, it's good news. It's good news for us as one of the OPEC countries. It's good too. And I think that sometimes again, this crisis, especially what's happening between Ukraine and Russia, the West is also looking to Nigeria for gas. Remember what we signed with the United Kingdom? Nigeria is able, we have enough to be able to send to the West, and we hope that that relationship will go beyond signing those documents and putting real infrastructures on the ground, and I pray so. Lastly, from what you said, I think it's high time that the West stop teaching people what democracy is. I do not believe that democracy should be about voting. Democracy should be about how certain persons in a certain geographical region decide to govern themselves. Libya today is no more the Libya that the people used to know. Iraqi today under Saddam Hussein is no longer the type of Iraq. Iraq is now almost what Iran can say. This is where Iraq should head to tomorrow, and Iraq would not hesitate to do that. The West should stop teaching people how to govern themselves. Allow the people teach themselves how to govern themselves.
Mr. Ndukwe,
Kelly, I don't understand your question.
Where do you see this crisis heading?
It will only end at where it started. There will, in the end, when America and Israel perhaps may have pummeled Iran to where Iran will throw up both his hands, because I'm here.
You think that would happen?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I am saying this with my understanding of. See, you see, locally we see stubborn people, and when you give the person a beating of his life,
right,
the stubbornness will disappear. I tell you. But one thing is that America is not a nation that even Russia can rise up and challenge. No. We are not talking about nuclear war here, and if you get to that, it worsens the entire world. So you can see Putin already. First complaint Putin made is that Iran didn't want to take their interceptors, their defense shield. Iran rejected that. That means he's not even happy with Iran. And again, they said, what are you sitting on the fence as it were? To Israel, are you going to intervene? Say no, intervene. This Israel is just like more of Russia. So you can see that he's giving out, whether lame or otherwise, he's giving reasons to pull himself up and his people out. When you remove Russia and America is on the side of Israel, what is Iran going to do? Saudi Arabia that goes and then buy all the sophisticated weaponry from America.
How about China?
China is supporting Iran.
I'm just asking. How about
no,
China?
Even if China, we are talking about. Remember that China is just economic might that is bringing it up. China is not grounded in weaponry like America. You can't talk about Russia. Even Britain may not have many, but they have excellent ones, more than China.
Let me say a prayer on radio.
No, I don't know the kind of prayer. Who you are praying.
Maybe he's a prophet.
Let there not be a World War III, where these nations will come and show the levels of sophistication they've been able to amass in terms of military might. Moku no find out.
Let me tell you.
No, but China is not interested in war.
At least for now.
China wants to sell. China is not interested in war.
Do we know how many billions of dollars China has invested in their defense?
Yes, but it has not gone to
war.
The size of America.
Oh, it has not gone to the size because it has not been tested.
It has also not gone to the size of Russia.
It has not been tested.
No, China is buying from China.
China gives Russia weapons.
You are right.
Including Nigeria.
It has not been tested.
Those are conventional weapons.
Let us hope that these things are not tested.
No,
China is also a nuclear power.
You see, China is. There's no doubt about it. There are 5, at least solid ones. But when we are talking about solid ones, India has joined them, more or less. But see, you know my confidence. God, the maker of this earth, said they will not destroy the earth at any point in time. And I rely on that.
You see, he's not praying his own prayer.
So, no,
he's not praying his own prayer.
I'm making you know that no matter whatever they amass, all of them put together, they won't destroy the earth. They won't.
No,
because if you check the number of weaponry, the nuclear warheads, Russia has greater than any other nation.
I don't know about that, but
that's what I'm telling you. Check it now. You can see it.
No, I'm not checking. Where are we going to check from? Defense speculators.
So
which country would open their gates and say, "Come into our defense room. Let's show you. Come into our arsenal. Let's show you the size of our arsenal."
You know, truly, China is not interested in war. China is not interested.
The war
China is not interested.
It's like the Igbo man just want to sell his market.
No, it doesn't mean that you will not invest in fortifying your house.
He did now. China patrols the Taiwan Sea now.
Okay. Dr. Waigwe.
Mr. Kelly, I want to start
you didn't talk about the implication for us in Nigeria.
No, I didn't.
Oil prices are going up.
The nuclear structure. Nuclear structure took away the that you started offering prayer.
No, me, I go find my own prayer. I don't want any World War III.
Nobody
they will say I don't want it. They will say it is between them. That's how what's his name? Nazi Germany were moving. They needed more territory so that they can spread their base. You see, one of the things that I'm even realizing now with America, speaking of his might, America alone cannot from America without auxiliaries hit countries that are farther away from America.
Yes, now.
So that's why they have bases. They have bases in different parts of the world.
That's why Iran was warning Iraq now not to allow them use their airspace.
They have bases in different parts of the world. So at the point where the plane left from Missouri and got to a point, a jet was taken off from another country to give it fuel mid-air.
Kelly.
It moved again, another jet was taken off. So if America alone had bases in only America, it go hurt them.
Kelly, let's pray that nothing of that sort
happens.
See, because I tell you, when it comes to such a crunch time, if America tells this particular place, let's come and then establish a base here, and they refuse, it will come with its might on them.
So let's pray that we don't get there.
Mr. Kelly,
yes.
I want to start by the quote of Colin Powell, who was a realist and a diplomat. He said power is a necessary condition for the realization of foreign policy goals, but not always an effective one at any point in time. And it is diplomacy that deploys it to realizing its basic effects. So most times, superpowers, you don't rely on naked power just because you want to show or you want to realize your foreign policy goal. I don't know as it is what are the foreign policy goal of Trump, but trying to exhibit or demonstrate naked power in a multipolar world, we are not in a unipolar world, may not be the answer.
You've not heard that we show power by strength?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Power is important.
That's what Trump said now.
Power is important, but it is not always a necessary. In fact, it's not always effective, particularly in a multipolar world. The point I'm saying is that if you look at it as it is now, China, Russia, and the rest of them, America cannot say we have all it takes. Yes, you may have the arsenals, the weapons, and the rest of them, including your economic power. But you cannot say you can call it short unilaterally. You will always act with your alliance group. So the way he's going with Israel, violating United Nations provisions and the rest of them, it's not the way to go.
Okay.
You are likely to cause the Third World War. You just made your prayer.
That prayer is important to me.
Ben Bruce said the other day that we are about to witness the Third World War because the leaders you have currently may be the one that will trigger it.
Some of them seem to be warmongering, actually.
Trump with his counterpart in Israel goes the way they are going, they go the way they are going, they may likely cause Third World War.
Now they are
Because
fight.
you cannot predict. You cannot predict. You may not know the reaction of Russia. You may not know the reaction of China. The nuclear war nations, 9 of them. It's not America alone. Russia is top against US. The 9 nuclear nations. So we cannot predict.
Russia has 4,000 plus.
5,000.
No, it's 4,000. 4,500 and something or so.
This is the kind of data I don't want to know.
Then
so the point
US
I'm
had
making,
3,000 plus.
The point I'm making is that
China
we
is
are
far
not
down,
in
down.
a unipolar world where America has it all. That's why you use diplomacy from time to time. Don't use naked power.
Okay.
What is the stand? What is the provision of United Nations? It is not your concern.
Okay.
You may trigger off Third World War.
0810951091 0810951091. We can take very few calls. I see that we have a commercial the last 10 minutes of our time. So the phone lines are open. We'll take those reactions as they come. Good morning, Kelly and the panelists. The news of this sort is not new in Ahoda East. Okay, let's do this call. I'll come back to the message. Today 95.1. Good morning.
Yeah, Frank calling from Ahoda West.
Frank, please go on.
Let me react on the attack on Ahoda East Solar Administrator, Mr. Iheanacho Bullock. It's not a good one. It's condemnable. I want to appeal to employer youth for them to not to take law into their hands. If they want to demand for accountability, we have ELCC, we have SCPC. Since we don't have a councillor for now, so there's no need for them to go there and terrorize that man. It's condemnable. Commissioner of Police, please go after those boys and kiss them out. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Frank, for your contribution. Let's see if this connects. Today 95.1. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. Let me quickly also comment on the political distinction between. I know it's a side talk, but at least it's part of the conversation. Look, there is no way the PDM that almost every political wish would belong to. Politically, the current president we have, Atiku is his master. After the disqualification, let Yar'Adua hand over PDM to Atiku. Where was Amechi then? So when people now say you want to share politically the strength of Amechi and Atiku, oh God, you cannot compare. Forget about he became governor, please. Every who is who has tried under the PDM before formation of PDP and all other parties later on. Please, even the June 12 election we are talking about, the likes of Tap Gun and the rest.
Okay.
It's okay, no time, but please, you can't compare. Thank you.
It's all right. Thank you for your contribution, sir. I'm trying to remember his name. Let me finish this message. Recall when His Excellency Governor of Rivers Sim Fubara came and set up caretakers in the local government. This same opposition group refused to give up in Ahoda East, consequently metamorphosed into gunshots in the council, which resulted in the killing of the caretaker chairman's elder brother, at the time. So this group is synonymous with unnecessary fighting and crisis. Dua Tom from Ahoda. Wow. It's not the way you like to be known, Sha. Today 95.1, good morning.
Good morning, Kelly, Ogaima, and everybody in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Pastor Olucholade Timi in Igoishe. So I'm very glad to the discussion of this morning. But what I want to put mark is concerning the coalition of meetings. So I want to tell everybody participating in coalition and the rest, even Mr. President also, that we are praying and the will of God only will come to pass in 2027, whether or not. And the one that God will talk, that the people in Nigeria, not all these ones that are doing, that is person that God will talk for us by himself, whether they feel like it or not. Thank you so much, Pastor Ultra Communication.
All right, Pastor, thank you. Godswill Akpabio must reap what he's planting in River State. Young manager, Bureau from HA, what did he plant? He only said River State will be next to Tombo now. Today, 95.1, good morning.
Good morning, Kelly.
Welcome, Obed. Please go on.
Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, the issue in Ahoda West, I think, let me join the other women in Rivers to condemn that very act. I think it is wrong. If there's anything that they find out the administration is not doing well, they should write to EFCC. But secondly, Kelly, there is a whole lot of issues going on with the 23 administrators. What we are hearing, a certain remittances that is running to millions to billions to a certain individual. You understand? This is River State money. The whole essence of the local government administrator is to ensure that there is governance at the grassroots. But what we are hearing recently, right now, where money is being shared, they are remitting to somebody a certain sum. Kelly is not going down well with us. Thank you.
Robert, thank you so much for your contribution. Good morning, Kelly and the panelists. Austin George from Umomoy. I want to ask, all this time the politicians are spending talking about politics and political parties, can't they use it to talk about the development of this nation? Must everything be politics? I rest my case. Thank you. Today 95.1, good morning.
Hello, Kelly, good morning.
Morning, Muriel. Please go on.
Thank you. Well, Kelly, let me look at Atiku and Amechi. For me, I think the person that has held the highest position in the country supersedes the other, is bigger than the other person. You cannot begin to compare Rotimi, Amechi, and then good luck. Even though Rotimi has been into different aspects of politics, but good luck Jonathan are still ways higher than him. For me, I think his position that matters. Therefore, I think he's bigger. And for the people that attack their older is, I think they were mentioning, I think they just attacked this guy because they think he's connected or frolicking with the simplified group. That's the reason for the attack. And all of them, both the one that ran out and said all of them are in on it, honestly. Thank you, Kelly.
All right, Muriel, thank you so much for your contribution. Good morning, Kelly, and the guest, Gift Joseph. All this June 12 matter these people are coming up with, again, how will it help us to bring down the cost of goods and services? They should please allow us to hear. Today is International Widows Day. I pray God will continue to strengthen and provide for all the widows indeed. Thank you. Gift, Today 95.1, good morning.
I'm at the one.
Wellington, you don't show?
I don't show. I greet the guests in the house, all of you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Kelly, you're seeing that institutions doesn't work. How can a local government chairman in his own office, don't they have security? When you cannot lead people, you cannot even defend yourself. People came into your office, deal with you and left. You should resign. You resign. Thank you and God bless you.
Well, listen, thank you very much for your contribution. Good morning, sir. Temple Chief and all the guests. I would join any arrangement to remove President Tinubu. Lamido's statement, I disagree with him. Even ADA is dead on arrival. For PDP, let them abide with the instruction of Mr. Project for peace to reign. God's time from Port Harcourt, he sent that. We can take a final call as the last one for today. Good morning, Kelly. Lamido for his boldness. God bless Lamido for his boldness in making such revealing and indicting comments about the president. It's good that he's still alive to tell the story. Tinubu was never prepared for governance. His interest was just on wealth accumulation and to grab power. Mr. Lucky, that is your position. Thank you. Fuel to hit 1,000 naira. It is unfortunate that the global crude surge that ought to be a blessing to Nigeria is now a problem for us due to bad governance. Where is the celebrated stability in the oil sector? Where are the gains of the crude for Naira policy? You don't understand. On the Ahoda East incident, this is a coup, a foretaste of the crisis ahead. Many interests within the camp of one man influencing things in River State will soon explode. And this would also happen in APC very soon. Awa, you said that. Thank you so much for reaching out, Awa. Okay. Let me read two more from the traditional SMS channel and then we'll leave here. Good morning to you and other panelists. Joint ticket is not sacrosanct. It is the prerogative of the presidential flag bearer to choose his running mates. Chidex, thank you. Good morning, Kelly and the guest. The guest in the studio, Sylvanus Wosu from Igurutali. If yes, that President Tinubu contributed in fighting for democracy in Nigeria as quitting, why is it taking him easy to remove an elected? Why is it making it easy to remove an elected officials here in Rivers State? Does it mean that he can't? I don't try, Sylvanus. Okay. Last one. Hi, Kelly. Good morning. And the guest, Friday Olu from the University of Port Harcourt. I just stumbled on the Amechi Atiku conversation about who is politically experienced than the other. Wisdom is no longer synonymous with bald or gray hair, apart from Atiku's 8 years of VP to OBJ. What else? Okay. Thank you, sir. That is your position. Let's switch to WhatsApp. Let's see how many we can take from WhatsApp. It's already 10 past 11. Now, let's do a few from WhatsApp, and then we can switch to Facebook and the rest. So, this one. Okay, I think this came in first. Good morning, Kelly and the panelists. Tinubu to pick his running mate after APC convention. It's expected that crisis will hit the ruling party because of the several egos and greed within it. I don't see them coming out as one united party. Michael Sunday, you sent that one. Good morning, Kelly. About the Ahoda LGA saga, this same man here has denied resigning his position, and that's the more reason why these buccaneers in government keep doing what they are doing, undermining the rule of law and justice of peace. Because even their victims are once their executors and their signatures. So he will only play the defensive card instead of exposing the truth. Okay. I join my view that with that of Sule Lamido to say that President Tinubu so far has proven that he was never ready to solve the problems of Nigeria. Rather, he just wanted the title president. Brightner from OG sent that. Good morning, Kelly, and our ever reliable panelists. In as much as I think it's going to be extremely difficult to dislodge the ruling APC come 2027, we can't just brush aside this emerging coalition. If care is not taken, this overconfident APC might not really know what will hit them, just as it happened to PDP in 2015. Oju Chidebere from Oibo sent that message. Thank you. This talk of Tinubu doing just one term in office is what I call Bobo Juice yearnings. The president will finish his 8 years uninterrupted. No be Nigeria with day. Finally, this Oloide's jam seems to be confused. How many mop-up exams will they conduct? I don't tire for them. Simply goodness from Malakaya. This is the first one. After the one they announced for the errors that came up when they had the proper exam. So if you are a victim, you haven't reached in 2025, please go do the needful so you can write.
Good morning, Mr. Kenny. My name is Tony Chinoso from Port Harcourt. On the PDP versus INEC saga, there seems to be political undertones or influence on government institutions that are meant to be independent by the federal might, namely National Assembly, Judiciary, INEC, Police. As a result of this, public confidence is gradually eroding from these institutions. Let this Tinubu administration watch out. This will definitely boomerang back to them.
It's all right. Let's do one more voice note. Okay, I can read. Let me just read two more messages and then we get out of here. Good morning, Kelly and the respected panelists. PDP spokesman says INEC has no right to stop their meetings. PDP's insistence on holding its NEC meeting in spite of INEC's position shows rising tension between political party independence and regulatory oversight. It sends a strong signal. PDP won't allow external interference in its internal affairs, but with internal leadership struggles still unresolved, the outcome of the June 30 meeting may determine the party's unity or further expose its cracks. Wanate Clinton West, you sent that. Greetings to you, Kelly. Senegalese president heads ECOWAS. That's not correct. It's, what's that country again now?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone's president. Obviously, President Tinubu's body language of recent depicts he's not a Democrat, and as such, he does not deserve such exalted office again. I join Meaningful Rivers people to condemn the violent attack on the sole administrator of Ahoda East, even though he came on board illegally. Come at work. Aboyo Kinsley from Rumokuta, you send that. Final message. Warm greetings, Kelly and the panelists. Who told Kenneth Okonkwo that well-meaning Nigerians want to go back to Obasanjo days that spent $16 billion on electricity, but supply darkness to Nigerians? Well-meaning and the masses of Nigeria want a new Nigeria completely different from the Nigeria of Obasanjo days to the present day. A new Nigeria is possible. Senior Elder Ingeri not to send that message. Thank you, sirs, and thank you to every other person. Facebook. Let's see if we begin with X. See how many of the contributors are waiting here to have their comments read. Give us a moment. We have 6 minutes, just 6. So only 6 minutes only. Okay. On Real Talk, thank God Ability Atuebu puts it this way. These guys that manhandled the sole administrator of Ahoda didn't do it with their power. Powerful politicians are behind this attack. Why was the sole administrator security guard? Where was his security guard when this beating went on? Who wrote the resignation letter for the sole administrator to sign? Augustine Aaron, they all deserve it since they have decided to dine with those that have put River State in this abysmal state. It should be able to deal with whatever that has caused the attack on him. They are among those that plot this emergency regime. Okay. God will make River State great again. All right, thank you. Opinion poll. Let's see. Clever Gerald, I don't think it will be surprising looking at what has been going on in the presidency for some time now. It will ever be more surprising if Tinubu picks him. So if Tinubu picks Shatima, then you'll be surprised. Osborne Essien, hello Kelly, is Tinubu himself worthy to still continue as president in a country where every sector is collapsing by the day? If Nigeria is a country where institutions work, by now, he should be more concerned about his survival, not that of Shatima. Okay. 5 minutes left. Facebook. One moment. It was open now. Now it is closed. Okay. Can just read 2 comments, so let me look out for 2. Wachi Madi, even with the state of emergency, crime is still getting high every day. And then Okowa Charles, we live in a state where cultism is held in high esteem, hence the boldness of attacking the council administrator. Up till now, the police has not made an arrest. That speaks volume of the level at which non-state actors control things behind closed doors. Your hierarchy determines which office to hold and not based on competence. I wait for my state. Okay. Another 2 from here. Gote White, I will not be surprised because mere looking at the VP, he doesn't look happy. Martin Smart, Tinubu is trying to pick Kwankwanso in order to get block votes from the north, especially Kanu. Ami Herbert, what if he chooses Wiki as his running mate? The general post is not up. Oh, that would be an error then. The general post is not up. That would be an error. All right, we have to close. Thank you all for being part of the conversation. Today was quite a lot for us to manage with the time, but we're glad we're able to manage all the same. Dr. Richard Waigwe, Executive Director, Citizens Leadership and Rural Development Initiative. Claudia, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Daniel Momo, Public Affairs Analyst and Strategic Planner at Travel Consultant. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And Mr. Emmanuel Indukwe, in-house analyst. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Thank you, Nigerians.
We have closed. Kelly Kimejima is my name. Good morning.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Please listen to this paid infomercial.
We're live in the studio, and today we have a special guest from Vantage Markets with a proven track record of helping people achieve sustainable financial success. In the past year alone, she has organized over 300 events and successfully trained over 2,000 clients on wealth creation through automated, flexible business opportunities. Please, let's welcome Omatasan, the Client Success Director at Vantage Markets.
Thank you so much for having me, Godwin. I'm excited to be here in Port Harcourt, even if it's just in the studio.
The pleasure is all ours. You know, we're just discussing the importance of creating sustainable in the role of technology in finance
Absolutely. Port Harcourt is a city of innovation, and we need to apply that spirit to our finances. Let's be real.
Is to earn extra income in today's tech-driven world.
I'll be very clear with you, Godwin. The answer lies in leveraging technology, particularly automation and AI. We live in a digital age where these tools are transforming industries, and finance is no exception. That is why I act on oil prices by processing news, social media sentiment, and historical data. The automated system can then execute trades to benefit you from anticipated price swings, all in a fraction of a second.
Incredible. It actually sounds like it could really free up people's time.
Absolutely, you can. That's the beauty of it. You can maintain your current income while simultaneously learning to use these AI power tools, or you can utilize the automated systems. And this is why you need to be at the Smart Traders Summit happening this Thursday at number 21 Bekwe Wosu Street, formerly known as Igboku Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt, which starts at 10 a.m. sharp. To register, send PH to 09060593552. The number again is 09060593552.
What about the risk? People are often wary of anything involving technology and money, especially with the rise of other platforms that promised such.
That's a very valid concern, and that's why we preach risk protected. The third one is back testing. AI allows you to test trading strategies on historical data to assess their potential risks and profitability before using them with your real money. And secondly, we're different from other platforms. We do not promise you a quick and easy palette to manage your risk effectively.
This is fascinating, I must say. So, how do people in Port Harcourt get started with this?
The best way is to attend our Smart Traders Summit this Thursday at number 21 Bekwe Wosu Street, formerly known as Igboku Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt. We start at 10 a.m. sharp. At the summit, we'll cover 1 and number 3 essential risk management techniques to protect your investment. To register, send PH to 09060593552. Send PH to 09060593552. Let me repeat that and send PH to 09060593552.
There you heard it. Now, why should
your official partners of Ferrari? You can Google that, and that goes to show the extent of our global brand partnership. We are not a small brand. We provide a reliable and regulated platform essential in the world of online trading. Our technology is cutting edge, giving you access to fast execution and competitive pricing. We are also committed to education, empowering our clients to make informed decisions.
Now, is there a cost to attend the summit?
But the summit is about learning and understanding the potential first.
And what should attendees bring?
A smartphone with internet access or a laptop and a valid ID card. We'll have a live trading demonstration to show you how these technologies work in practice.
What are the benefits of attending the summit?
Beyond the knowledge and the potential for financial growth, we have some exclusive bonuses for the first 50 to significantly increase your income. And of course, you have access to our suite of AI-powered trading tools and indicators.
Those are fantastic incentives.
I agree.
Now, you want to remind our listeners how to register?
Of course. The Smart Trader Summit is on June 26th at number 21 Bekwe Wosu Street, formerly known as Igboku Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt. And it starts at 10 a.m. To register, send PH to 09060593552. Send PH to 09060593552. The number again is 09060593552.
Omatason, you know, many people are skeptical about online financial opportunities. How would you address their concerns, especially regarding automation and AI?
The market is regulated, and we provide clear information about how our systems operate. Control. You always have control. Automated systems are tools. You set the parameters, you set the tone, and you can intervene at any time. Risk management, as I mentioned, AI can be a powerful tool for managing your risk. We are here on misinformation, hold you back from exploring new opportunities. Attend the summit, ask questions, and empower yourself with knowledge. Send PH to 09060593552. 09060593552. 09060593552. 3552 to register and take control of your financial future.
And that was a paid infomercial.
Talk radio. I listen
on FM.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold.
Expected. At Today95.1 FM, we know we entertain better, so we do it.
Life is too It happens to us. And as you join me on Entertainment Today, Monday through Friday, interesting gist conversations that you will also be a part of. I mean, let's dissect the world of entertainment and see what's happening on the foreign scene here in Nigeria, the gist, the gossip, the news, the rumors, and what have you. So we're going to begin today with the news where Kelsey Parker, the widow of the wanted singer Tom Parker, has announced the earth-shattering news that her newborn baby has died. Parker, a podcaster, actress, and entrepreneur, posted a poignant poem for the baby boy named Finis, titled Born Sleeping, Forever Loved. It was accompanied by a caption saying, Finis Parker, lead say you will... Well, in Nigeria, where Nollywood actress Buki Raji, popularly known as the Aminatu Papa, has publicly apologized to Nigerians over her support for President Bola Tinubu during the 2023 general elections, saying her decision was driven by business interest and misplaced trust. In a now viral interview with TV on YouTube, the actress said she deeply regrets backing the Tinubu campaign and appealed to Nigerians, especially those going through hardship, to forgive her. She said, "What I regret in my life is that they said they wanted to renew hope. I used this moment to beg Nigerians, those I love, that love me and don't love me." She continued, "The only thing I regret, I wasn't told. I later saw it. Don't be angry. Your source of living won't be difficult. There's a saying that anyone that you have not seen for a long time, there's need to observe the person carefully again, not vouching for the person." The actress said her rice business, which was affected after the Buhari administration closed the southern borders in 2019, made her support Tinubu's agenda, since he was from her region and may consider reopening it. "It was the campaign that I did for Tinubu that I am pained about. The masses are hungry." Well, she says, "I began the business with 20 bags of rice and I began someone that was offloading trailers of rice. Now, tell me, didn't I also take part in the suffering? I felt it. If Tinubu gets elected, things will get better. But it's all of us that's suffering it, including those that campaign and those that didn't." Raji also cited Tinubu's antecedents in Lagos during his reign as the state governor and also promises made by some undisclosed politicians during campaign meetings. According to her, I can boldly say I did not receive a dime, and it was not as if they did not offer us money. Raji also recalled how during a past downturn in her business, her husband's support helped her bounce back. Well, still on the news, where Nigerian Fuji maestro Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as Kwamwan, has addressed growing speculations surrounding his marital status, where Premium Times gathered that the reports emerged claiming that the 68-year-old singer in March 2018, he married Manuel on 18 November 2021 in a lavish ceremony at the Palace of the Ake, Abeokuta. However, the singer dismissed the claims in an interview with journalists. He said, "She, Emanuela, is the only one I told. Leave social media, concentrate." The Fuji legend, who said he couldn't imagine how embarrassed the lady must have felt, added, "Must I marry everyone?" The lady is taking international favorite Knuckles just day after it premiered on Friday. The 10-episode series adapted from Iyanu, Child of Wonder, the acclaimed graphic novel by Roye Akupe, has captivated audiences with its vibe as The Chosen. Iyanu was a young orphan living in isolation with her guardian. She, Olori Adesua Atomio Wellington, she